me be something. You wanna keep your head. If I ain't your girlfriend, I won't let go your hand. Disappointed, 'cause you never see me. I'm better than you think of you. You're not very simple, you. Hold me to the waist, baby, touch me on my skin when you slow me. Let me be something that you never imagined. Hold me to the waist, baby, touch me on my skin or just love me. Something that you never imagined. Let me be something. You wanna keep your head. Disappointed, 'cause you never see me. I'm better than you think of you. You're not very simple, you. Hold me to the waist, baby, touch me on my skin when you slow me. Let me be something that you never imagined. Hold me to the waist, baby, touch me on my skin or just love me. Something that you never imagined.
Round of 8. Track. Maru. Pure. Parting. 2021 GSL Season 3. Codex. Africa TV Free Cup Studio Live. 2021 GSL Season 3.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another day here of the Round of 8. It was an amazing first day that we had so far, and I think today is going to be close. It's going to be exciting, and I think it's honestly very difficult to call who's actually going to advance here.
Yeah.
I think anybody who's super confident they know who moves on, I think you're crazy. It's really hard to say who's going to take it.
That's really mean of you to say to me, Taste.
I'm like, I think. So why you think you know who's going to move on?
I think I do know who's going to move on.
Who's going to move on?
I think it's going to be Trap and Parting tonight.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's the score?
Trap is going to 3-1 Maru, and Parting's going to 3-1 Cure.
So that's what I'm talking about. That's insane. All right, that is.
Yeah.
I can't believe.
In Game 2 of Parting versus
Yes.
Cure, there's going to be a proxy Stargate.
Maru will lose
by
it
the way.
under 10 minutes.
Oh, man.
All right, guys. So as you can see, Korean Thanksgiving is a-coming. And so we're going to have about a week off here. We're here on day 2 in the Round of 8. After today, it's going to be, about 10 days off, a little bit more than 10 days, no StarCraft 2.
Yeah.
So if you're watching, or maybe you're not watching live, but you just wait for the YouTube videos to show up, and you're thinking, wait a minute, what happened? How do I, where's the next round? I can't find it. It's coming. But this is one of the 2 biggest holidays of the Korean season, and so everybody takes that time to rest, even gaming.
Even gaming.
Even the gamers.
Yeah, so that'll at least give them some time to prepare.
Right.
That'll give Zest some time to grind out some builds to try to take a map off Rogue, so that'll be fun. But here are our matches for today. We got the Hat Boys on the left and the White Vest Boys on the right.
That's right. This is going to be a lot of fun to cast today. I'm especially excited about Trap vs. Maru, but I think Cure vs. Parting is going to be really interesting. I want to see what Parting has planned here for Cure. I do think it's realistic that it is a Parting actually in the finals. Let's say the Trap advances
That
here.
is realistic, I think, yeah. I'm just going to shut up.
Andy, go ahead.
The reason why this round of 8 is considered one of the best is because of these 2 players. These 2 players have made it to the most finals and the semifinals the most. Alright, so we're gonna have an interview with Maru and Trap. Hello, Trap. Hello, Maru. So Trap, you first. This is your 9th consecutive round of 8. It feels like you start every tournament, every season with the round of 8 trap. So after the season final, how did you recover after that? I mean, feels like I did have plenty of sleep, but I'm slightly exhausted right now after the season finals. And this year, your PVT win rate is 10 wins and 1 loss. So it's Maru you're facing this time, the one you didn't want to play against. And this is all because I was placed second place in my group. It's all my fault. So, you know, I meet him again. My nemesis. It feels like Maru and Trev always go up against each other very frequently. So Maru, I heard that you partnered with the enemy to move on to round of 4. You script with parting. So how did the practice go? I mean, we didn't practice that much. You know, I thought it would be nice to scrim against parting. So we did help each other quite much. So are you saying that if you scrim with parting and then you beat Trap, you can beat parting as well? You know, I just partnered with parting just to beat Trap. So Trap, on the other hand, I heard you scrim with Jor. So how did that practice go? Yes, I mean, the match against Maru is the most important one, so I had to scrim with Jor to beat him. And this year, you guys have went against each other 2 times, and it was 1 win, 1 loss for both players. So Trap, do you expect a full match today, full series? Yes, I do. I expect a full series today. Although I don't want it to be a full series, I think eventually it's going to turn out to be a full series. Yes, a full set and neck-and-neck match is expected today. So how do you expect the score prediction to be, Maru? Well, whoever wins, I hope it's a haste one, a quick one. And these 2 players are extremely close with one another, and they're extremely highly calibered. So before we get into the match, anything you guys want to say to each other? Trav, why were you placed second in your group? Well, you know, we're gonna have to enjoy the match today, right? That's what Maru says. Trev, what about you? No, I didn't want the second place, Maru, but today I'm gonna try to play comfortably and try to enjoy the match. And these 2 players are the best, and these in this year of the GSL, they have not been able to lift the trophy. Who out of these 2 players will advance to round of 4? Trev first, Maru. It all begins now.
All right, we're moments away from hopping into our match here. You know, Trap and Maru have really, in the modern era of StarCraft 2, have really been game changers in how we view the races and the matchups. And Trap especially seems to have been the player that is most, how do I say this, closest to really getting perfection with Protoss. I know that Parting has a crazy and effective style, but Trap is somebody that really seems to know how to play a very even game up, or even a control game, and then just kind of topple the opponent.
Sure, yeah. And yeah, I mean, these 2 are perfectly matched to play against each other. Look at these stats in here. You know, in round of 4, they both played in Super Tournament and GSL. They each won 1 of those. Their offline match history, 20-20. Like, wow, that's pretty sick.
It's pretty insane.
It's too bad that we're only getting 4 games tonight.
Okay, so this is going to be a lot of fun. You know, Maru, obviously, we've been waiting to see if he's going to get his 5th GSL. There was a complete year of Maru domination in GSL CODES, but you know, the question is right now, with the way that we see the game and understand it, is he going to be able to take on a player like Trap?
You know, it's hard to say. Like, it's not like Maru can't beat Trap, but Trap is so solid that it's hard to imagine Maru like pulling it off multiple times. Like, he has to pull it off 4 times. That's a lot of, or 3 times. That's a lot of time, Stasis.
And the way that Trap and some of these other Protosses have approached the matchup, they are very good at controlling the Terran early on. You know, the Terran is always, it might sound redundant, but it is true. They want to push across the map set up a good position and kill you, right? That's how the Terran wins a game. Occasionally they can just attack it outright, but generally they want to push in somewhere, set up a position, reinforce, and then eventually the defenses deteriorate and they come in with a killing move. But Trap, more so than any other Protoss, is so good at limiting that ever coming to fruition. And I'm excited to see how, let's hope it's 5 games, but I want to see how each of these games pan out and what exactly Trap has to try to thwart any progress Maru has. We've seen Stalker Contains be extremely, what? Oh, were we just on camera there?
In the dark.
Took me a second. I was like, are those shadow gamers? Oh.
Yeah. Now you guys can
us.
see why Tasteless misses everything that happens in the game because he just turns and stares at me. I'm really uncomfortable during every GSL cast.
Usually I'm sitting in your lap when the game starts,
Yeah.
but I forgot what I was saying. Oh, no. Yeah, Stalkers have been very effective at just basically controlling the Terran, ever being able to move out or take a third. Then again, there's also the chance that Maru does something extremely aggressive to try to basically tip the Protoss over before the game even really picks up.
Yeah, I think that there's basically 2 ways for Maru to approach this. One is what you just said there, right, where he needs to somehow dictate the early game and get Trap on the back foot. That seems not super duper likely that that's going to work over and over. Or he has to just defend everything Trap does perfectly.
GSL Season 3, Codex. Africa Freeze, Track. Team Envy, Maru.
So this is going to be exciting, man. See exactly. I think it's what I'm very interested in here is how Maru is going to approach what's going on, right? Like, is he going to try to dictate it more, or is he going to try to just deflect everything perfectly?
I think we'll probably have a mix of a lot of different types of builds, if I had to guess, coming into this.
I think so. Yeah, it's not going to be like Maru just goes like 3 racks, stim +1 combat shields, 3rd CC pressure. Like we're not going to see that 5 times in a row. That's not going to be a good way to beat the best Protoss in the world. That's for sure.
But yeah, Trap really going for that. What I'm guessing most of these games are going to look like is going to be that Stalker contained, Blink or not, but a Warp Prism there, kind of controlling the Terran and mitigating any real progress they can have here. I don't necessarily think we're going to have any kind of all-ins from Trap early on. I think instead it's going to be him kind of monitoring and checking on exactly what the plans are for Maru, and then basically setting up counterattacks and trying to get that 3rd and 4th out. And then basically when it's time to come out and attack into Maru, Trap should have enough that he can deal with it.
Yeah, well, Maru is going to be the guy that actually expands quicker than anybody and macros quicker than anyone and micros better than everyone. So when you put all that together, it's going to be the hardest match that Trap can really think of as far as this matchup goes. Of course, it is his only real loss this year against Terran was against Maru.
Right. So, going into this game, Toast, you're so funny. My second monitor has no screen on here, so I'm having to like move by our plastic barrier.
Excuse me, I need
And give
help
you
from
COVID.
production. He's on my side of the barrier. I don't want the COVID. Get on your side of the barrier, Tasteless. Never is it, Tasteless.
Okay, now they've got it on my screen. There we go. It's like I can't see what Terran building's what through this plastic screen
He was
between us.
really almost on my
I have
lap,
to
like you
cast
said.
this while having cataracts, so like trying to look at the screen. Okay, so yeah, as we said, it's going to be the Stalker opening here with Blink.
Yeah, it looks like a 2-gate. Yeah, we'll see what else he ends up going with it.
Unless he throws down some more. Now, a Widowmine drop is getting set up over here.
Had some Hellions out in the map as well. Looks like they're mostly scouting. And, you know, mine drops are not like a bad idea for Maru. It's one of Maru's like best tactics. I'm trying to figure out how to describe it, but like Maru does Widow Mine drops really different from most players because he'll drop 12 mines before he's done, you know? Like he will just go and go and go and go and just like pretend it doesn't matter to lose some. And a lot of them won't work, and then he'll get some that do, and he's ahead.
Yeah, sometimes it's like the third drop that comes in there that suddenly works. And, you know, one of the ideas behind doing his Widow Mine drops, but first and foremost, is if the Protoss doesn't react immediately, they could lose the game outright. But even players that react quickly, as more and more mines begin to get sprinkled into different parts of the base, the harder it gets to keep track of everything. And so usually as these start out, oh my God, the first one actually connects. I was about to lead into that and be like, yep, see, it didn't do anything.
Oh, dude, Maru is already wrecking phase.
And he's not
really
pulled
well
these
done.
probes in time!
That
oh
was
God.
sneaky. He had one that was like not burrowed down to the side there. Maru having a hard time making the right choices here.
Well, that was another great play. Now it's down to 10 kills.
He like even fully walled so the Hellion couldn't bother him. And then still the mine drop did that much.
So as I was trying to do the play-by-play for that, I was about to say, as the mine shot, okay, only 2 probes killed, no big deal, and then it was 6. But normally, when you're looking at a game of traps, it is just 2. So to get hiccuped that early on, and to know there could be more coming, although in this case there's actually not more Widow Mines coming, I guess he backs up immediately, deciding it's time to get ready for a push. Stalker's just taking damage on their hull. I mean, he will be able to blink out eventually, but
look at the damage here. Like, Maru is playing so well. He's got the perfect walk to this blink up. He's already got everything kind of sieged in position. He's picked off the Observer already. And out go the Stalkers. They didn't really get much done there. Maru really on top of his game right now.
And we're just waiting for the stim upgrade to be done, and I think we're going to have a very quick push here from Maru. I think the number of workers he already killed and seeing that Protoss was, in fact, taking a third base, the upgrades are pretty far out here for Protoss, such as Charge. And Immortal's also going to come out here, but there's not that many of that. He wants to really commit on 2 bases and basically come in here with a killing blow.
Well, he is producing quite a bit right now. A lot of gates have been added here for Trap, so he's going to macro up pretty heavily, skipping that upgrade until a bit later. Charge still on the way. Prism coming.
Now, he does want to have this type of counterattack set up if he can. We were talking about this before the game started, but I'm worried that there might be too much muscle coming out here from Maru regardless.
There's definitely a lot of muscle that's coming, man. When you're going up to 5 racks on 2 base, you're in serious mode.
Does a little bit of damage to that tank that can easily be repaired. Is he going to have the opportunity to counterattack here? We see the Warp Prism coming across. The combo of a Warp Prism and the Stalkers coming into the main could draw the army back, but if it does not, I don't know what exactly Trap has planned to try to defend his third base.
Well, if he can block the Prism, Maru's going to be in an amazing spot, but it looks like the Prism's going to get in easily.
Is there
here.
a Widow Mine hiding up there, perhaps?
Oh.
Because that's one way that the Prism just dies outright.
He's making some mines right now, and he's bringing the attack up. Let's see now. The Zealots come out. He does have 2 mines up there, but they didn't catch anything.
Yeah, the Force Fields are going to buy a little bit of time, but you can see a little branch of the infantry actually wiggle through. He's got Zealots warping in here. It's not a very insane amount.
Oh, he throws down these auto turrets and stems forward. He's engaging the Stalkers over here on the right, doing a great job of it. Those turrets actually doing a very good job as well. His siege tanks are pretty far behind, though. I guess they're just kind of defensive right now for what he's trying to get done.
He backs up, eats a couple shells from the tanks. He's going to try to edge in with 2 more tanks. He basically wants to be in striking range of the Nexus with the tanks, because that way he can kite with his infantry whenever he sees fit. The Stalkers and Zealots, all the numbers are beginning to thin out, and that's going to be it. GG, Maru takes game 1. From start to the finish, Maru in control of that game. I think even Maru himself was surprised when that first Widow Mine connected with that many probes, because that's, especially the first drop, You cannot lose basically more than 2 probes.
And I was gonna sing the praises of Trap when he did the full wall there to stop the Hellion.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's smart, because now you can really stop the drop. But it was too quick for him. And even though I thought that was a good move, I mean, look what just happened there. Maru played just about flawlessly. Even with the Zealot Warpins in his main base, it wasn't enough.
Yeah, it's funny too, because you can see Trap try to have a very balanced amount of Zealots come out, so he had enough warped in at the 3rd. But that position's just too strong, and you don't have enough Immortals to really fight the tank where you need to without the Marines and Marauders sniping it. So good setup, a very specific type of game went down there. I don't think we're going to have another one like that. But again, Trap needs to really clean up his control at the start here. Someone like Maru is going to dominate him. Lightshade for map number 2 has loaded up. Let's have this best of 5
GSL
continue on.
Season 3, Codex. Africa Freeze, Trap. Team Envy, Maru.
Dude, if Maru keeps looking like that, oof.
Right now, I'm going to treat that game from Trap as if it was a fluke, as if it was like just him at his worst moment in the series, because if you're going to lose probes like that to Widowmine drops, you're not going to survive any PvTs.
Yep.
Not just Maru, but, you know, StarCraft, it's funny. The earlier you lose a bunch of workers in the game, it's so much more impactful. You know, we sometimes see Banelings blow up countless workers in late game, right? And then they're all remade and we're right back to where we started. But when you're on 1 or 2 bases and somebody takes out several probes, and in this case it was 6 right there, and then 10 shortly after that.
Yeah.
So both drops actually got more value than you would expect. I mean, you're chunking out such a large amount of the worker count, you know, that, I don't know, StarCraft's a game where you start out with one building and then you branch out and build all these other, you know, structures. Some make attacking units, some are there to soak up resources, some are there to help you defend. But if you stifle that growth at the start, you are so much more slowed down for the rest of the game. And that's how a 2-base push like that can straight up destroy a Protoss, is because of the damage that the Protoss had to endure early on.
Yeah, and it was a great finish there from Maru. Now, in the second game, he did start the second depot really quickly so that Trap couldn't get the scout off. So he's hiding what he's doing here, which is a fast CC on the high ground. Again, no way to scout that for Trap. And adding 2 Raxes. So Maru throwing in a little bit of trickiness, and it looks like it could be some sort of technical cheese, but instead this is basically the most powering that you can do.
Right.
Now, it is Twilight, which I think is actually pretty good as a soft counter to this build.
Sure.
Right? Like, if this build catches like a Stargate opener, I think you're a little bit happier than if it runs into a Blink opener.
Look at this. The Marines are actually behind the probe, behind the minerals up above. This is really cute.
Yeah, there's so many mind games going on right now. That is, yeah, because
I mean,
that's so different if you see 2 Marines pop out versus like there's already 3.
Yeah. And so right now Trap has no idea what's going on at all.
All right, the command center is done here for Maru, getting stim right now as well. Blink on the way for Trap, as well as that second gateway. Robo comes up. I mean, pretty standard stuff here from Trap so far.
Nice. Locks out that Adept that was going to shade forward here. And this is a frustrating moment for Trap because you basically, your mind is racing up to this point of every possible weird thing that could be coming at you. And he checked for proxies. He tried to be prepared for an attack. We're on 2 bases now, and there's 3 more gateways, or now 2 about to finish warping in. And right now he's basically prepared to try to fight a 2-base push, but there just isn't one coming.
Yeah, and normally the 4-gate Prism with Blink has been used in the past as a kill move. And Trap hasn't been the best at that, honestly. He's not the best micro for Protoss. Someone like Parting will kill you with this so often, but with the amount of units that Maru is going to have here, Stim and Combat Shields and everything, if Trap tries to attack, that might not go well, but I think you're right. Like, he can probably hold on pretty easily against the push.
Whoa. Yeah, Stalker's right-clicked forward, blinking backwards away from the infantry there. And, you know, even though they're even on bases, I think normally Protoss is either trying to do that 4-gate attack you were talking about, Artosis, or they're trying to take a third base. And so they're kind of in between right now. Trap is kind of in between right now, excuse me. And I think that Maru has set up a pretty good position now in Game 2.
Yeah, but right now his units out in the middle of the map isn't going to do anything with them. Sending out a little bit of a scout. He hasn't seen a third base yet, which is like a really important distinction here. I don't think that you have any... Like, he's not going to do damage if he does a frontal attack. Like, that's going to be where Trap can pick up a big advantage.
Yeah, I think that for the time being, we need to see more powering here from Maru. I don't think this is the moment you want to attack. I think it could be close, depending on how they engage each other, but definitely waiting. And we see a Forge coming down here, and so Trap has the same idea as well.
Yeah, Forge as well as that Colossus tech. Okay, so definitely bringing himself up as far as tech goes. Has those 4 Stalkers across the map right now. Can do a little bit of harassment. Starport on the way for Maru. Really interesting where he's keeping that. I think he's like almost waiting to see units appear at his base so he can counter with that little group. And like that third Nexus that just started, if Trap is doing anything else and Maru stims in against that, I bet you he kills it.
Yeah. So that Observer coming in here now, you can get an idea that, you know, the powering continues on. Looking, is there another command center over here? Is there anything else?
It's another 5-Rax play as well.
Yeah, it's the same setup. Now, this time, the Protoss wasn't tripped up by losing probes. The Protoss was deceived into thinking an attack was coming early, and instead of investing in you know, a third base earlier to try to get momentum going to have a bigger army later on, Protoss was bracing for impact, and it just never came. And because of that, the Protoss's growth rate is a little bit slower. Now, I do feel like this push should be more holdable than the last game, but let's see.
All right, so he comes in and starts picking off some SCVs here with the Stalkers. Not bad, gets 4 kills right off the bat. Colossus being made, Charge going to be finishing up here before Maru can really do anything about it. His little group out on the map leaves that area. Looks like this Prism might get a little bit stuck over here. Now, he's not making a Viking or anything as of yet, but looks like he wants to move forward.
Is this going to be pulled back in here into the main? It doesn't seem like there's that much for Terran to defend with. But, you know, it's a little bit similar idea-wise to the last game in that Terran is trying to just kill the Protoss. The Protoss is trying to be like, look over here, Stalkers. Don't you love your SCVs? Yeah. The push is coming. A scan shows no army here at all. It is just outside of vision. And here we go. Is this going to be a stim and an arc? Yes, it is. Now, I don't see any tanks with this at all.
No tanks. And
so he's not pushing, like trying to get a foothold and then hit from there.
It seems like it's just a very good defensive setup here for Trap. Now, Maru loads up 4 medevacs, so that is some dangerous stuff that he is getting ready to try and do. The drop comes back into Maru's main. Warping some Zealots here to go with those Stalkers.
In this moment, Trap is feeling more confident, seeing that the army's going to back away. He says, all right, you don't think you can push into me. I can start to warp in a few more units over here into your main. And honestly, this is working. And if Maru does not kill something immediately, Maru's going to lose this game. He is coming in here onto this extra base. There is a drop set up to try to get into the main or perhaps the natural, but I don't see this working on either front now.
Yeah, it seems like everything is failing at the moment. He stopped dead in his tracks. That 4 medevac drop, that turned around. Coming up now to the front with that wall, he drops 2 medevacs in the main. He saw some units at the third base as well, hitting the Nexus. Maru is absolutely everywhere, does a huge on power there.
Yeah, he's going to take out this Nexus. The worker count, though, is 60 to 30. And so right now, Trap doubling the number of workers, but the fight's not done
Oh my
yet. Here
God.
comes Maru now, hitting over here into this pretty exposed area into the natural.
Yeah, he doesn't have that many SCVs, but his army supply is certainly quite a bit higher. He has it split pretty well, but it seems like Trap is starting to stabilize a bit. He did lose that third base, though. So those extra workers, are they really being that useful?
Yeah, that's a good point. You need to have some place to soak up resources from. Now, keep in mind, if all of this aggression from Maru is fended off, Trap is eventually going to have an opportunity to come in and smash that very late third base that we know eventually Maru's going to have to take here, because Maru sitting on 2 bases for this long is going to mine out a little bit more quickly.
And some SCVs starting to fall here. Plenty of units, though, will push it back. Looks like he's going to go ahead and take that third base finally. Kind of some funny micro here. Oh, God, he's actually going for it?
Well, it seems like he has just enough here that he can kind of pick a fight into the main and draw enough forces there. These Zealots are counterattacking into basically nothing.
I think this wasn't a good move by Trap.
Yeah, I think Trap
It was wasteful. He, like,
basically assumed that Maru was further ahead than he was and set up an attack that wasn't even there to hit any target. There was no SCVs at that third base.
gets rid of that Twilight again, but a Dark Shrine had already been started.
Now 43 workers here for Maru.
Dude, look at this. He's way up in army supply. Trap is having a hard time. Like, he's just sitting back very defensively. He tried that harassment. It really didn't work out for him. And now Maru, with this spread, I think he has lots of opportunities for damage. In fact, his army can he fight here? I think he can. It's only one Colossi.
Yeah, here comes the second one. The spread is good enough, actually.
Then there's Force Field's doing some real work there.
Yeah, it makes a nice arc there and kind of shoves the infantry away. And that does thin out the army again here for Maru. Looks like he wants to come in here from the bottom once more. We don't see that counterattack just yet here for Trap. He's really just staying back and holding off any pressure.
Mm-hmm. And he is taking that fourth base now. Mm-hmm. Still has those upgrades going, so that's going to be a nice power spike for him. Maru walking up towards the other fourth base area. Just finds a single Zealot there, which will alert Trap. Trap moving back defensively once again. DT Blink on the way. I kind of like that. We're in kind of one of these strange games where no one has a very big economy, so something like DT Blink could become very, very powerful. DT's being warped in. We also have enhanced shockwaves on the way here for the Ghosts. Some Vikings being added.
And things have really slowed down. Maru's looking at this and saying there's probably going to be, I'll be further behind if I keep attacking in. Trap quietly sends some DTs in here, and if Maru's not paying attention, you could end up losing a dozen workers here. 6 already scans there. He should predict the third one here in the main, but there's nothing here to defend just yet. And you know what? I got to say, that was a very cost-efficient little tactic to send in 3 DTs into those areas.
Yeah, not a bad move there. Doesn't have the blink yet to save him, but he gets rid of 10 SCVs and 3 potential, like, mules, right? Or scans, whatever you want to call it.
And confirming that the army is back there, we're going to see Trap pretty much for the first time actually move out into the map with his main forces. How far will he actually commit? Sometimes you come about halfway out and then come back, hoping you could start to bait the Terran into trying to counter again and winning the fights there. And certainly if Terran tries to move down this ramp, that's exactly what he's going to encounter. This is a pretty good position here for Protoss, unbeknownst to him.
Yeah, 4 Colossi there, plus the shield batteries. You can't really break into that with what Maru has right now. Now, a little group of charge lots coming in, getting rid of that turret. In the meantime, Maru coming forward. He does have a good amount of Vikings, but with these shield batteries, a little bit nervous about this. Some EMPs go down, starting to target down these Colossi, but the shield battery just keeping it alive. The Colossi shredding this army.
Yeah, nice disruptor shot, but it is shot down in the last second. The few infantry that remain are not going to be able to contest. The 4 Colossi still dealing damage on the ground here. Trap has outlasted Maru, and Maru's army that was initially so scary is looking pretty weak right now.
That was wild. That overcharge, like, I think
sick.
If it wasn't for the overcharge, like, even just with the batteries and the cannon there, Maru, I think, would have broken him. Yeah. Like, that, the Vikings never killed the 1 Colossi. They got it so close And that thing just sat there and tanked for days.
So I think now it's going to be a pretty straightforward counterattack. It's possible that Maru has enough to try to fight this. This isn't exactly the most beefy army, but you got to be careful. 4 Colossi controlled well can just start to vaporize anything that's over here. Beautiful pickup. Trap takes game 2, and we're tied up 1-1.
All right, very nice game, very back and forth there. Felt for a little bit like Maru might be able to take it when he was spreading out and starting to pick off damage everywhere, but that final hold from Trap, very, very strong. And Maru losing much too much army there.
Yeah, I think it's a frustrating game for Maru. He had some pretty good moments where it seems like he might have been able to set up some kind of an attack, but Trap basically just waited it out. Just kept defending, and you know, eventually it was the same Marine Marauder and Widowmine unit set against a more and more sophisticated Protoss composition.
All right, so they both won on their opponent's maps. Set 3, Romanticide, the most turtleable map, the easiest to defend. How does Maru play this now? Does he do like a super rush early on in the game?
That's a good question. Well, he's definitely tried to set it up so that it looks like he's rushing, or he is going to rush each time. And this last game was a fake, right? He didn't do anything. Maybe this time he does dial it up, or maybe he plays even more greedy. Who knows? We'll see in a second here.
Yeah, this is I'm actually excited for Romanticide because I think this is where we get to see Maru's true preparation come out. This is going to be the map where it's very unlikely he kills him in the mid game.
All right, guys, game 3's ready. Let's do this.
GSL Season 3, Codex. Africa Freaks, Trap. Team Envy, Maru.
Yeah, let's see what Maru does. It really has been him kind of setting the tone in each of these games. I do like what we saw in the last game, just hiding a command center and even hiding the Marines and kind of really obfuscating anything that's going on and really making Trap guess. But here's the thing. Trap did guess very well. He kind of set up to counter anything that could have come, and then even though he wasn't in a great spot, he countered the 2-base push too.
Yeah.
And he still was up a base. It's funny, we started out in kind of a weird game, but we ended up sort of where TVPs often do end up, right?
A little bit. Maybe slightly smaller quantities, but yeah, overall.
Yeah, where it's like, all right, well, Trap did get that extra base, and Terran, yes, you are trying to end this, and unfortunately, yes, he does have enough to hold it. So, I mean, Trap navigated that very well. Nothing requires you to set up a game that's supposed to be like that, but it's cool to see Trap actually handle an opening like that from Maru and do it very well.
And I like the theory behind how he did it as well, right? Like he went up to 4 gates, Blink Robo, which is a build that normally we think of as an aggressive one, right? For a while there, Parting was killing everybody with that. And eventually it was like, okay, well, the 3-gate variant you can expand off of. Then it was like, oh, actually you only need 2 gates, which is what he was starting with. But to add the 2 gates, which is the aggressive aspect of it, is not something that he's great at, but it gave him enough units to be safe, right?
Yeah.
Like he's not being overly greedy at any point and just kind of, you know, taking every bit of information as it comes out.
And in this game, we have a proxied Stargate, which is, I mean, it's aggressive, but I think it's probably the mildest of all the proxy builds that there is in the game. And so let's see what he can get done with this. Now, this is far away enough he wouldn't go Void Ray, right? Or could he still go Void Ray?
No, I can't imagine.
It has to be Oracle. Yeah. If it was like just to the left of where a screen is, then I would say it's Void Ray. But let's see. I assume Oracle as well.
And looks like he gets to finish that up. That Reaper was doing a good job of denying some mining time. Not sure if it ended up getting a kill or not. think. Very well done. A couple more racks is on the way here. Mines being produced. This is kind of interesting. Like, he went factory and now he's adding the barracks and like kind of running around with this Hellion. You know, when you see something like this, what do you think? You probably think, okay, there's probably going to be a medevac on the way, that type of thing. Instead, he's kind of powering into a bit more bio. Okay, he actually sees the Oracle flying past. Definitely a valuable scout.
That's very important. That Oracle is going to come in here. I don't see any Widow Mines hidden anywhere.
Yeah, I think there's one in here somewhere.
I thought
I don't know
saw
where.
one,
I heard one burrow, though. Ah, there it is. Son of the Minerals.
Oh, okay. So he's trying to draw him down here. Oh my God, he pulled away.
He's not having any of
Trap
that.
is so good. Depletes the energy on the Oracle, gets 4 kills, and injures a couple more workers. And
Yeah, look at that. Flies
He
over
wanted
in
to do
case there's
that.
one there.
yeah, he wanted to actually bait out that shot. This is a really good start here for Trap, and honestly, we don't normally see Oracles kill that much early on ever, since this unit has been in the game for so long.
Yeah. Well, some fanciness here on both sides. Like the micro from Trap overall. Being a little bit more aggressive this game. A couple blink openers into a proxy Oracle, not bad. Now he's got the 3 Oracle, 3 Adept combo here. You can one-shot Marines and SCVs very easily. Definitely has potential for a lot of damage. 3 more Adepts coming up.
Here he comes. Is he going to commit with this? Yes, he is. And the Oracle's coming later, so the attention has been drawn away fire-wise. And this is just a lot of kills on those Marines. He's now in behind the mineral patch, and the damage is just going to keep coming out here. I don't know that Maru can last much more in this game. I mean, the damage is really beginning to add up.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good. He didn't get as much damage as I thought he would with that, honestly. It felt like he was going to get a bit more, but he reduced that Marine count as well, which is useful.
Yeah, for a second I thought he might be able to get the bunker too, but he identified that no, he should just stay back and shade back out. And you know, for all the damage that Maru has absorbed in this game, we got to point out that really Trap hasn't lost that much in the process.
Has he lost anything?
I think he's lost an Oracle.
An Oracle. Yeah, that's
And,
not bad.
Yeah, and maybe an Adept or two, but like a lot of fights are just trades where both sides are taking blows. Most of these have just been Trap with incredible finesse, eking out incredible amounts of damage.
Ooh, almost flies into that mine. The mine backs up now.
Good cover there, instead deciding to tag the infantry and keep tabs. And is this going to be just a counter attack here?
Gosh, I don't know if he can get anything done tasteless.
Man.
I don't think this does anything.
He may also have concluded that it's the best of all the bad choices that lay ahead of him.
It could just be a move out too to force more static D. We already have like 4 batteries at home. He's adding a cannon on top of that. He's doing his warping rounds. Trap is utterly ready to crush this if this comes.
And now, oh, hold on, here comes this medevac. Now, Trap's pretty good at pulling these workers away.
I'm going to drop a couple mines in that main.
Oh, very good control.
Yeah,
and I mean, at that point
clean.
in time, yeah, and now he's lost those mines. It's more units that have just been picked off. Even though I think the idea from Maru was pretty good. The 3rd command center is going to finish, and I think the 4th base for Trap will be started soon here. But I believe the point of tension on the map is now going to be at the Terran's 3rd base, because Protoss has beaten the Terran up enough that the next attack here, a serious committed attack, could absolutely wipe the 3rd, or at least punt the command center back over to the natural or the main.
Well, if he can do that, he's all but won at that point, I think. Maru is actually fielding a really nicely sized army. I think Trap going to stay back on the defense slightly. We do see a group of Stalkers staying there. He's moving out with a few units here. Are those Zealots he's walking around with? It kind of looks like it on the mini-map.
I think that is Zealots. I think you're correct. Okay. Oh my God! Can he get each mine? Nope, in fact.
Neither mine.
Yeah, neither one, but still, only 2 probes killed. Terran Army coming up here, and can he snipe that medevac? No. Force fields come down, though, dicing up the Army pretty nicely. He picks back up and gets away. But again, it just seems like we're watching Maru lose or go even in every skirmish on the map.
Yeah, so far it does seem that way. Now, the Zealots get in here. Charge is finished. They're going to go to town on some of these SCVs as the reinforcements come down from Maru to try to hold on. Really annoying stuff there. These Zealots buying Trap a lot of time while he takes that 4th base and has Storm on the way.
Okay, this army's pushing down here now. And, you know, as was mentioned before we started on this map, this is a map where the 3rd base is, like, very safe and comfortable. So it's possible Protoss doesn't attack in there. I felt like the fight and the lead was good enough. Maybe he would anyways, but he is taking his 4th now. Storm is on the way as well here.
Yeah, Maru out on the map. Like, I think this just, for Maru, I think he has to kind of just get into, like, very late game stuff, because there's not going to be any opportunities to kill him, right? Like, some decent mine hits there, but I just don't think, now that Storm is finishing up, it doesn't feel to me like there's any way that Maru can end this game without grinding Trap down over the very long term.
I think you're correct. Oh my god, amazing snipe. That was a full medevac. Oh. And is he just going to try to move in here now? I mean, I think that you have enough as a Protoss. You can start to really fight this. I love the Storms coming down here. And he's now wedged himself in between the natural and the 3rd base. And if he can maintain presence here for a little bit longer, I think the Terran could fall apart. The Warp Prism is a little bit exposed, but he's going to back that up now. And as he juggles these units in and out, I think he's going to get another nice warp in here.
Yeah, you could be right about that. If only he could have stopped this warp, and maybe he could have killed off this army a bit more quickly. But this is maybe too much damage to come back from for Maru.
Yeah, this is
what a great
huge
finish.
loss.
What a great finish.
It was sort of an impromptu attack. After he killed off that medevac, he realized he could just keep going, and so he did. And it looked like for a moment or two there, maybe Maru could fight back and stabilize, but with good Warp Prism control and excellent storms, here we are. It looks like we're in the twilight of Game 3 with Trap likely to close this out. GG!
I wasn't exactly clear whether Trap should stay, but then you repositioned the Prism, pulled his units together, got the warp in, and that was enough. So a great kill. That was very well done.
Trap is 1 win away from advancing to the Final Four. Maru, you know, he's looked good, but clearly if Trap can just stretch the game out, he's fine.
Yeah.
He has all the tech he needs to deal with it. And Maru seems to be, from all the ways he's playing, very eager to close this out right in mid-game. He doesn't want to go toe-to-toe, but he's also not all-in either.
Yeah, and like honestly, I think that's where he should be targeting it. It's really hard to go to Supreme late game. Very few Terrans can do anything to Protoss there, even Maru.
Guys, quick break when we come back. Game 4 with Trap versus Maru.
can hear your voice. I can hear you through the silence. Through the silence. Through the silence. I can hear your voice. I can hear you through the silence. Through the silence. Through the silence. I can hear your voice. 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 I can hear your voice.
어려워도 이렇게 멈추면 내가 아니지. 오늘이 모여 새로운 날을 만든다. 나의 레벨은 다르다. 어나더 레벨 핫식스.
함께 모이면 홈파티. 홈파티엔 먹방. 먹방엔 칠성사이다. 맛있어. 맛있는 자리에 빠질 수 없는 청량함. 칠성사이다.
퇴근하고 뭐해?
퇴근하고 오늘은 유셰프, 내일은 유러너, 주말엔 유목수,
그걸 다?
본캐부터 부캐까지 하고 싶은 게 많은 요즘 시대의 커피 칸타타 콘트라베이스.
이번 주 등산 어때? 등산 캠핑? 그래서 주말엔 낚시?
내가 낚인 거지.
그래도 나오니까 좋잖아.
일상에서 취미까지 나누고 싶은 게 많은 요즘 시대의 커피 칸타타. 아이시스 8.0을 챙긴다는 건 건강한 생각까지 챙긴다는 것. 나를 움직이는 핑크 에너지 아이시스 8.0. 아이시스 8.0을 연다는 건 조금 이른 아침을 연다는 것. 나를 움직이는 핑크 에너지 아이시스 8.0.
디자인을 하면서 가장 중요하게 생각했던 부분은 울트라 기어의 차별화된 브랜드 메시지를 잘 나타내는 것입니다. 신과 영웅들의 최강의 무기들을 검토하였습니다. 그중 니케의 승리의 날개를 모티브로 지금의 울트라 기어의 로고가 탄생하게 되었습니다. 울트라 기어의 이니셜인 U와 G를 비상하는 날개의 형상으로 레드 색상을 사용하여 강력한 에너지와 힘을 나타내었습니다. 울트라 기어는 최상의 퍼포먼스로 진정한 게임의 즐거움, 승리의 기쁨을 여러분께 선사할 것입니다.
Round of 8. Track. Maru. Pure. Party. 2021 GSL Season 3. Codex. Africa TV, Precut Studio Live. 2021 GSL Season 3.
We're back, and we're ready for Game 4. Trap, here's my take on this so far. It just seems like Trap is basically able to bob and weave against what Maru's doing. The game that he lost really was quite an anomaly, not just for Trap, but for any GSL player. It's something that all Protosses have experienced in StarCraft PvT, which is a Widowmine drop where you just didn't handle it perfectly. And you know, not just in StarCraft, some games are like this in certain moments where it's like, okay, you have to play perfectly at this moment or you do lose.
Yes.
And to our surprise, Trap did not play perfectly. He lost enough workers and a 2-base push killed him, but everything else from Trap seems to be clean, seems to be very much in control of the game, and Maru's been zoned out. So if Maru doesn't win here, he's out of the GSL Codex.
Season 3.
Season 3,
Codex.
Codex. So let's see what he can do. Otherwise, Trap is going to the Final Four.
Africa Freeze, Trap. Team Envy, Maru.
You know, I mean, this is such a good match, but I can't help but to think in the back of my mind that this is like a contest on one of those islands to see which like beautiful maiden gets thrown in the volcano, because someone's going to have to play Rogue at the end of this tournament.
Yeah,
you
so
know?
we will need a human sacrifice to get Rogue into the finals here.
yeah, well, in the finals, right? Like, oh man, he's already trashed both these guys in the finals before. So, anyways, it's so far the series, like that last game, Tasteless.
Yeah.
The Oracles did a lot, right? It was actually a bit of a mirror of the first game.
Yeah, it was.
But on the other side. So I don't want to like call it quite yet, you know, because that's where it went wrong. Game 2 was in many ways the most even game, and it was a little bit back and forth. It could have gone either way, right? Like,
sure,
there was opportunities for Maru, and it didn't work out. Okay, but both the others, I think, came down heavily to just the damage in that early game from that early game harassment. So,
by the way that Maru's playing really speaks to how all Terrans are viewing this matchup and how it operates. Because we don't normally see Maru go for like an attack at the knees followed with a 2-base kill. You know what I'm talking about? That really isn't.
Yeah.
If you think of all the games we've casted of Maru, it's actually been the opposite of that. It's either been insane proxies and aggro, or like macro play with later pushes. So I think that really says a lot about Maru's view on the matchup, and also the way that the Terrans are all looking at Protoss right now. Is like, you know, some matchups in RTS, there's ways. I think TVZ in StarCraft 2 is a really good example of that, where it's like, if you can hang with the Zerg, you can go hang with the Zerg. You know, go to 7 bases, drag it out, and try to play a game from there.
Sure.
This matchup appears to, from the authorities on Terran, it's a matchup where one race needs to be stopped before it can get out of hand. And in this case, the Protoss has to be stopped before its tech becomes too unwieldy for the Terran to deal with.
Yeah, all those splash damages do get really difficult, and I think you're right. That's like, just in general, not many players have the confidence or the skill set to go against a late-game Protoss. Maru is one of those players that can do that, I think. He's definitely shown it in the past. But also, some of the more powering moves that he's doing here, like the 5 racks on 2-base, it hasn't been as popular lately. But the theory behind it kind of works. Like, if you're playing against someone who's gateway heavy, in general, you're going to want to make more units earlier on to kind of match that, right? Whereas if it's like more tech heavy, you might want to go the other way, right, and go for the faster third base and whatnot. But
yeah,
I quite like the series, and just seeing what the best two of this matchup like think about it against each other. It's a fancy micro here from Maru.
Oh, all right, he's just going to kill that at depth there. Yeah, and also it's interesting to note that Trap doesn't seem to think he needs to do anything outright. I mean, this is a pressure build. He's not trying to just end the game here. Although you got to be careful. Stalkers are so much better than Marines early on.
Oh, yeah.
That if you do not control this correctly, and in this case, he's probably going to be pushed up onto his high ground. There is a Widow Mine drop inbound here. It looks like it's going to go, I think, to the main, if I see that trajectory correctly.
Yeah, this could be a little bit of a problem. He's been stocking up his oracles. Okay, they're actually waiting at home, so he's going to be able to deal with that really quickly.
And he picks up the other Widow Mine, and now you really can't drop it.
Yeah.
So
make them run out of their energy, right?
Yeah.
Look, he's following them. I mean,
another Oracle's out though.
This is not bad.
I don't know, man. I feel like he's pretty much okay.
Yeah. Definitely Trap is okay, but he did make him burn through a bunch of Oracle energy, so it's like something at least.
Well, okay. I'll give you that, but on the other side of the map, those Stalkers killed a lot and really interrupted the mining, and the third base is now done for Trap. So I feel like Trap's kind of...
Oh, I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, I think he's in a very good spot here.
Like, no, Maru's ahead because the Oracles don't have as much energy, Tasteless.
But, oh my God.
Oh no. Oh no.
Well, if he was planning on winning with a 2-base build,
see, he needed to get a little bit more Oracle energy off of them, and he would have won this game, Tasteless.
That is so bad.
Yeah, no, that's
like the worst thing.
That's pain right there. That, oh man.
If Maru was an airplane, Trap just took his engine away.
Yeah.
I can't imagine anything that simple that could have been worse there. And, you know, Trap saw it. I don't think he was planning on necessarily sniping that, but he sees it, he goes, I'll take it. Okay,
yeah,
two-base, man.
I think you're right about that. You just flew in and it's like,
he's like,
oh, whatever this is,
yeah.
You can't expect when he knows that you have this many Oracles to go in and kill SCVs.
I'm a little bit surprised at how forward Trap is being here. I feel like from here what you want to do is... Oh, I didn't even see that Widow Mine.
That was cute.
I was like, can Oracles self-destruct? I didn't know about that. Are they like...
Did the rock attack them?
Do
the rocks on this map attack?
Does it have a Baneling attack on it? I don't understand. So, I mean, to be honest, guys, this is a pretty easy game for the Protoss from here on out. I mean, without Stim, and most builds in the game are set up so that as Stim finishes, that's when you have the right amount of stuff to move out. You don't want to get it too early because you could have gotten other structures or tech along the way. And so denying the Stim and forcing them to remake it, basically, it takes the wind out of their sails. They have lost the timing. And guys, 3 bases versus 2 bases. 3 bases is always better if the game goes on for longer. And, you know, when you lose that timing, a timing is set up to basically hit a 3-base player when they might be weak and they don't quite have all of their infrastructure complete. They don't have all their building blocks there, so they can set up and play a game.
Well, in this case, he's had to power up quite a bit more. We'll see how badly that affects him, but I think you're right that it's a very bad situation. Now look at this, the Stalker's coming for a counterattack. There's not much over here right now.
Keep in mind, you can still recall with these as well, so this really does cut both ways. He is going to be able to come in here and hit this base, do a lot of damage to these workers, and probably go back out and defend. Now that Widow Mine, oh, good dodge again over there. Now Terran is committed, and Protoss has tagged the army. And here we go, the recall. A couple Stalkers are bled off there, but again, 10 workers killed. This puts it at 62 to 44. What has to happen right now is Trap holds this attack off. These Zealots do not have charge.
No, what is going on here?
Did he forget charge?
No, he didn't. It's just not done yet. So yeah, definitely a bit of a mistake. The overcharge kind of keeping him alive, but that armor shred, amazingly done. Hits another one all over everything. Can Maru grind this all down to take down this 3rd base? We are about to see.
Yeah, there's not that much left here for Maru, but the upgrades are just not there, and there's so many Zealots getting bled up. Does Maru actually somehow manage to win this game? Okay, charge is done. Here we go. There's more Zealots coming in here.
And he throws out an auto turret here as well. Does get used up. The mines hitting also. The Stalkers blink on top of these siege tanks. Is this enough to break through? Maru bringing up everything he has, and Trap barely breaks it.
That was quite the fight there. Now, by the way, had charge finished about 10 seconds earlier, Trap would have dumpstered that army. But instead, it became a back and forth that Trap narrowly survived. Now,
yeah, and what a call there, that blink forward onto the siege tanks. Yeah, that was very, very close. And if Trap had lost everything right there, that's it.
I think most Protoss players just die there. But yeah, it seems like that was slightly delayed. Now, Maru's going to take his 3rd. A lot of the energy that's on these medevacs is depleted, or close to depleted. So keep in mind, this won't have the same kind of momentum you would normally expect it to have. Does Trap have enough behind all this to actually take a fight? I need to see some Zealots over here.
He doesn't have a lot. That's like, he doesn't have his Psystorm quite yet. So we're hitting a nice timing here once again from Maru.
Everything's just a little bit late.
Yeah. Pull back. Psystorm is finishing up, as we can see on screen here, so that is going to give Trap a lot more stability.
I want to say, Maru really bounced back impressively. It did not look like he was going to hang on, but you know, a lot of this comes down to that charge upgrade being a little bit later. Now the 4th base is being taken. Tempo still going to Trap for the time being, especially now that Storm is done. when Storm is done, that's one of the final pieces of tech you need to basically make it so that it's really hard to move infantry anywhere at all. You know, the way the pathing works, Terran units clump into these perfect little chunks that are easy to storm. And especially narrow areas, there's just no way around it. I mean, you're going to get bolted.
Yeah. Well, this is why you got to get those ghosts out, and that is something that he's doing right now. Ghosts are on the way. There are a couple Liberators out as well, which I really like Liberator adds against armies like this as you start to go into the later portion of the game. I think it's like a very important thing that not enough Terrans are doing right now. A lot of people just are like, no, let's just make bio all game long and see if we can break them. But the Liberators give you more staying power in these fights.
So Terran sees that 4th base. We're going to, I think, whether Maru likes it or not, get pulled into a late game TVP here. We're going to see if he can hold his own here. I mean, Trap is basically, inside of this game, won the fight that he was fighting, which was to get to the 4-base Storm tech complete and everything else there. And Maru has, although this game isn't over, lost his game plan of basically killing the Protoss off before the Protoss can get started. And so from here, we do go into a game where it's going to be Ghosts trying to counter Templar tech, Robos, additional ones being set up here. Disruptors are going to be a factor as well. And what Trap basically wants to do is just keep growing and parry every attack from Maru. And if he can parry one so greatly that the supply is completely unfavorable for Maru, Trap will counterattack that.
And, you know, as his splash damage just grows, it's going to be harder and harder for Maru to deal with. But let's see, Maru trying to come up now. He does have those EMPs to help fight back. The Liberators definitely doing a very good job of zoning everything back as well, kind of giving him a little area to work with. Look at that, zoning with Storm so his Archon can finish.
Yeah,
I love
Covering the Archon. Cover fire. Suppressing fire here from the Templars.
Some real teamwork there. All right, Blinks forward here. This is a pretty big army from Trap. They're at the same army supply right now, but Trap's got just about everything over here.
I think he's going to sandwich this. Oh, wow. Good engage here. Cuts off the Ghosts.
Yeah, those EMPs were actually insane, though. He gets the Immortals. He gets the Archons for the most part. He's backed up out of the Liberator zone. And, I mean, with all those mines, you can't really engage in there very easily. Oh, another good EMP. We do have a couple Storms on that High Templar, though. Oh, gets another EMP off there. I don't think there's any Storms left. And without Storms, you can actually start to kind of push in here.
I thought he had 2 more, but there's sentries down there. Yeah, and I think you're right. He doesn't quite have enough. I don't think the Terran actually has enough to break this, though.
Yeah, maybe not.
I think with the Colossi coming in here, he could start to basically mow down everything in this area. The Liberators are no longer a threat. And he's basically cleaned up a big chunk of this. And, I mean, Protoss can kite fairly easily here. Oh, my God. And another blink. Does he have one?
It doesn't look like at this time a big drop goes in the main. But, well, it's not really that big. It's 3 medevacs of units. Lots of Ghosts in here, so he throws down the EMP. But very quickly with Blinks and Colossi walking up onto the high ground there. Something you don't see that often. Yeah, he's going to push it back. Void Ray being made to take care of that medevac that's just hiding.
Is that 4 Ghosts in there?
It is.
Brutal.
Well, hey, at least he gets it out. 4 Ghosts ain't cheap.
Yeah, sometimes a medevac can be stuck up there forever. Now, I think we're at that moment that I was talking about earlier where the Protoss has parried the Terran so hard that now it's the Protoss's turn. And, I mean, 4 Colossi along with these Archons and everything else, this is really something that is going to, it's going to have to be respected by the Terran. I don't think you can land a 4th base anywhere. I think pushing into the 3rd or to the natural, that's a different story. But right now, I feel like this 5th base being taken here at 3 o'clock, combined with the fact that Terran is really being squeezed on 3 bases, this lines up nicely for Protoss. So, see, he's going to take a 4th now. It's going to be at 9 o'clock on the opposite side of the map. So he's trying to generate as much distance as he can. But I think Trap's moving into his position pretty comfortably. He's tearing down the rocks. He's creating a lot of different lanes that units can traffic through here on the map. And I think he basically wants to push the third and the fourth. Oh, maybe he wants to just go to the fourth. I thought he might try to just actually go through the natural.
Well, any way he goes, that is a scary army indeed.
Yeah.
One thing to mention, he doesn't have any High Templars anymore. So he's really switching it over into Colossi Disruptor, which obviously the Ghosts are going to be less effective against. But we do have Vikings that have been being produced. Should help out a bit.
And I guess he's not going to commit onto that fourth base yet. I think he wants to take a little bit more time, let a few more upgrades finish here. We're about to have that armor upgrade for Protoss finish up. I guess he wants to set up with this Warp Prism, try to fly into the main, and start that warp in, and then maybe attack out then.
Always a great move. He's getting the Observer speed. DT Blink going to be finishing up here. Maru does have his 4 bases. Both sides going to be maxed out.
I don't know, man. I thought Trap would attack earlier, but I appreciate the patience, you know. But now Maru has a planetary. He's got sensor towers out. I mean, he's very comfortable. Where do you think is the moment, or the spot, I should say, that you know, Trap can try to hit in here? Because it does seem like Maru is really turtling up.
Yeah, well, I'm a fan of poking here, not just running in and doing the full engage, but rather hit the army back up, try to force Maru to come into you, because if he's attacking into you, your disruptors are like 4 times stronger. It's like insane how much stronger things like disruptors and Psystorm are if the Terran is approaching rather than kiting.
Okay, here we go. Zealot's dropping into the main. He does not have the supply to warp in anything extra. And I guess if the Zealots are slowly killed off, he could start to fill in those gaps. But for now, it just seems like Maru is basically turtled up on his 4 bases. Look at this, man. Top left, another Nexus.
Oh, yes. Got to keep throwing those Nexuses down. Warping in mass DTs all over the place as well.
It's interesting
catching
to see
him where he can.
Yeah, Maru very much staying back. Maru kind of an island in Trap's army, like little sharks circling around. If he goes too far out into the water, he will get eaten up. And that's the problem, is that, and maybe I was wrong saying Trap would attack earlier. The more you look at the game, the more you realize that Trap doesn't have to attack, Maru does. Oh, and here comes the counter. As Maru wants to move out here, Trap comfortably moves into this base over here.
And you can see it's a little bit harder to push in with this army, but the poking is good. Moves back. He's waiting for Maru to move in, but Maru's not going to do that. He's too good. A second Stargate is being added by Trap, so I think we're going to get him right now into either Tempest or Carriers. It'll be interesting to see which one he's going to prefer here. I think it's probably going to be Carriers. Fusion Core, 2 starports coming down. I'd imagine this is for Liberators.
I think so.
But I mean, I will get a banana grin if he goes BCs at this point. That would be super sick.
The issue now for Trap is that although he's kind of kept the pressure on to Maru, Maru's going to expand again down here, now up to 5 bases. Yes, Trap is ahead and continuing to grow, acquiring the bottom right. But I do feel like at some point in time you have to start denying bases, not just keeping pressure on here. Here we go, blinking on top of the planetary, and it is gone.
Yeah, and look at that. Instantly does the recall, saves most of the DTs here. Very strong move from Trap.
That was a sick play.
Yeah, you got to instantly remake that command center, man. You cannot be letting that happen. Got to keep that economy up. He's making 3 CCs right now. Liberator range is on the way. Armor and +2 in the air. Trap going to continue his poking. Here come the DTs once again.
Oh my God, and he could just, okay, that may be the death blow there.
Oh.
This is Maru on 3 bases versus the richest Protoss that ever lived.
Yeah, he's got some bank right now.
I mean, there is, the only thing waiting for Trap next is to take the top left base. Now there are backup command centers, but there's nothing to say that Trap won't come in and destroy those in the same fashion. in some ways it's funny. An orbital may be better than a planetary when those DTs come in. At least you can lift up in time.
Yeah, I think in a lot of ways you're right about that. The ground-to-ground damage is so insane for Protoss in the late game that planetaries almost don't even matter. They're not dumb enough to just attack in, right? Like, they bring enough to kill it. Whereas, like, you know, planetary is still strong, it's still useful, but you need to be able to lift it. Like here, if he hadn't been able to lift, that's dead.
Yeah.
But I do agree with you. I think in the later game, it's not bad to use orbitals.
Yeah, I guess orbitals are worse against other stuff. Like if you just had, you know, some basic tier 1 units. But, you know, Trap has basically started the progression to victory here. Now he's going to come in here and because, okay, here we go. He snipes that. Oh my God, incredible disruptor shots here. I think this game is over. I think Trap is moving on to the Final Four as the economy of Maru is in shambles.
Yeah, trying to push this back. His Vikings doing a good job against these Colossi, against all but 2 of them right now. Here comes another disruptor covering the retreat. And looks like the Stalkers will make it out, as well as 2 disruptors. A lot of SCVs have died. We're down to 21 workers for Maru Tasteless.
Vikings are landing. Nothing is going to allow Maru to stay in this game for much longer. He's trying to push back. With the funding that Trap has, he can replenish his army in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, this is not looking very good for Maru right now. Trap warping in quite a few Zealots, producing out of those double robos, whittling everything down as he can. Maru, you know,
81 supply.
20 workers.
Yeah, 20 workers. He's going to attack up in here. There's some cannons to try to help fight. I don't know that Trap's going to go in and try to save that. That's a pretty remote location compared to everywhere else that Trap has on the map. So Maru will take a Nexus out. But again, the Robo unit specifically, but the rest of the supply as well, is beginning to fill in nicely.
Yeah, starting to add some Liberators. It seems like Maru is just like staying on a very low SCV count. He is starting to reproduce that a little bit. He does have a lot of mules, which is nice.
Okay, but again, I mean, this is... There's nothing that is good that can save this command center. And every time Maru takes one side of the map, Trap is there to cause a distraction to hit the other. And Maru's almost mined out. He has this new base down here, but again, this has been one of the targets that is continuously bringing victories, little victories inside this game here for Trap. And as that third base mines out, these exterior bases that Maru keeps trying to reclaim only become more important. And notice behind this, because of Protoss's mobility compared to the Terrans in the way this game has panned out, basically Trap can keep gobbling up locations on the map, and Maru's never going to be able to get there and be able to stop it.
Yeah, he's making a lot of Liberators. That's like the only thing kind of up his sleeve right now. Charge, I mean, very basic units coming out from Trap, and he has the supply to be able to do it. He throws out a lot of Liberation zones here, but it just Trap has too much.
Yeah, and this command center is going to fall again. There's just not enough here for Maru, who is trying to hang on, who is trying to fight this off. The Stalkers hitting those Liberators. The Colossi back up and begin to kill off the few remaining SCVs that are still here. GG. Trap takes it 3-1 and will move on to the Final Four of Season 3 of the GSL CEST.
Trap just a monster from A to Z. This guy, he's like unstoppable, man. At this point, he's like more consistent than Stats ever was.
Right.
Like he's really, this is the best we've ever seen Protoss.
That was really impressive stuff. You could see Maru just doesn't want to get to that point of the game where you know, Protoss has all the tech and too much of the map, and you could see why. But when Maru tried to come in there and shut Trap down early on, he wasn't able to succeed except for the first game where the Widow Mines connected. We're going to go to that interview now and see how Trap is feeling. He is the third player to advance to the Final Four.
Wow, what an incredible match that was. Trap defeats Maru and he joins the Final Four of this season. Congratulations, Trap. Thank you. Well, sincere congratulations, Trap. So how do you feel after beating Maru today?
어렵다고 생각했는데
I mean, I thought this round of 8 was really hard.
이겨서 좀 기쁘고
I'm really glad I won today.
뭔가 작년이랑 되게 재작년이랑 느낌이 되게 비슷한.
And this feels a lot like last season. So Trev, it feels like you deliberately were placed second in your group to go up against Maru today. You're so good today.
서로 뭔가 심리전을 계속해서 했는데
Well, I mean, the battle of wits was really fierce today.
계속 안
The
걸려가지고
mind game was really strong.
초반부터 유리하게 상황을 만들어 나가고
And during the games, I was able to take a lead, generally. In Romantic side, before the ghost came out, you were able to attack with the right timing to destroy Maru.
되게 좋게 시작을 해가지고
I mean, I did start the game on the right foot,
테란이 양방향으로 이제 병력을 나눠가지고
and the Terran was using his bi-directional play. He was going for two directions,
타이밍이 나온다고
and I feel like there's gonna be a right timing for me to attack.
움직임을 잘 봐가지고
And then I'm looking at his movements, and then I was able to grab the right timing to attack Maru. So when did you know that you were gonna win?
아니 마지막 지지받기 직전까지 제가
I mean, I honestly didn't know before the last GG came out.
이거 뭐지? 그래서 좀 뜨끔했어요.
So I was kind of
워낙 상황이
I was kind of surprised when the GG came out. It felt like the game was pretty back and forth. And it does feel like you definitely recovered from the season finals. Trap, you showed monstrous performance today. Let's talk about your round of 4. Your round of 4 opponent will be either Cure or Parting. And you did scrim against Cure. So who do you want as your opponent?
그냥 그 누가 편하다 이런 걸 떠나서
You know, I can't say who's more comfortable for me.
도와준 선수에게 조금 더 마음이
But I do want to root for Cure, who helped me with the scrims. With today's match, you set up a new record of your TVP win rate, 11 wins, 1 loss. So now after beating Cure, it will be 12 wins, 1 loss. Do you have the confidence to do that? You know, I honestly don't care who advances out of Cure and Parting. I'm confident. Well, good to hear, Trap. Alright, you're one step away from the finals of the last season of the year. So anything you want to say, Trap? Well, today has been an arduous day. I'm really happy to have finished it on a good note. I'll try to prepare at the best level from round of 4, so please look forward to it. Anything else you want to say, Trap? Not really. I don't know what to say right now. I'm just so happy. Alright, Trap. Congratulations, Trap. Thank you.
Yeah, great work to Trap, popping off, going on to the round of 4. He's got an excellent handle on that matchup. But for today, we're doing a deep dive in PvT. I want to see what happens with Cure vs. Party next.
Yeah, I think it's going to look very different from what we just saw there, right? That was like kind of the two best straight-up players playing. Now, Cure can play some pretty straight-up stuff, and Parting can, but I think he's going to have more tricks up his sleeve.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a different PvT for sure. Quick break, guys. We'll be right back.
어려워도
어려워도 이렇게 멈추면 내가 아니지.
오늘이 보여.
새로운 나를 만든다. 나의 레벨은 다르다. 어나더 레벨
핫식스.
이렇게 좋은 날엔 홈캠핑이지. 홈캠핑엔 고기, 고기엔 칠성사이다. 맛있는 자리에 빠질 수 없는 청량함.
완벽하네.
칠성사이다.
숙취 요즘 누가 저렇게 깨니? 맨날 똑같은 거, 맛없는 거. 깨. 이제 탄산으로 깨. 숙취 해소의 새로운 기준. 가스강. 환도 역시 가스강이 대세.
디자인을 하면서 가장 중요하게 생각했던 부분은 울트라 기어의 차별화된 브랜드 메시지를 잘 나타내는 것입니다. 신과 영웅들의 최강의 무기들을 검토하였습니다. 그중 니케의 승리의 날개를 모티브로 지금의 울트라 기어의 로고가 탄생하게 되었습니다. 울트라 기어의 이니셜인 U와 G를 비상하는 날개의 형상으로 레드 색상을 사용하여 강력한 에너지와 힘을 나타내었습니다. 울트라 기어는 최상의 퍼포먼스로 진정한 게임의 즐거움, 승리의 기쁨을 여러분께 선사할 것입니다.
양념 툭툭. 올리브유 또르르. 우와. 그리고 제로. 너무 좋다. 맛은 배로, 칼로리는 제로. 칠성사이다 제로.
야채 착착, 당토 톡톡, 아보카도 슥슥. 그리고 제로. 이렇게 맛있다고? 맛은 배로, 칼로리는 제로. 칠성사이다 제로.
울트라 기어로 부드럽게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터. 울트라 기어로 선명하게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터.
관리받다. 관리하지 않는 순간에도 관리받다. 14일 동안 정성껏 발효한 브루잉 콤부차로 관리받다. 브루잉 콤부차.
핫식스 타임! 저는 이 핫식스로 선수들에게 응원을 보내보도록 하겠습니다. 꽂혔다면 쏟아부어! 인생 직진 음료 핫식스!
새로운 친구가 나왔습니다. 핫식스 커피 럭키.
구글 멋인데.
up to the rules. Lately I've been thinking different, dear. Then you say, what's the use? Whoa, what should we do with this hopeless world? And I know we'll never fix it with empty words. Dystopia, you got my heart running with the times we're living in. Dystopia, my blood keeps rushing with the fire and flames within.
GSL Season 3 Codex. Round of 8. Trap. Maru. Cure. Parting. 2021 GSL Season 3 Codex. Africa TV Free Cup Studio Live 2021 GSL Season 3.
Welcome back, everybody. One spot remains for the Final Four. Zest versus Rogue is going to be happening after Korean Thanksgiving. Trap will also be fighting the victor of this match that we have here before us. Cure versus Parting. What do you think, Arthur? Oh, hold on. We're going to do an interview, guys. 1 sec.
And this will be the last match of the round of 8. Who will be the last one to join the Final Four? And Zest and Trap has already won, and there are 2 Protoss moving on to the round of 4. Will Parting be the 3rd Protoss? Alright, we're gonna have an interview with Cure and Parting. Hello, Cure. Hello, Parting. So Cure, you first. You have shown great strategies, and you have made it to the round of 8 after 5 seasons. And this is an offline match, best of series in a long time. So how did you prepare for it? Well, this time I tried to make good strategies. But it feels like Parting's gonna go for very aggressive plays, so I'm gonna have to play on the defense today. Well, we'll see. We'll find out that later tonight. So now all the Terrans have been eliminated, and you're the only one left, Cure, in this round of 8 contention. So how do you see this matchup? You know, I've thought about this before, and it feels like Terran, when you don't play Terran perfectly, it's not the best race. Alright, Parting. Parting is aiming for his 2nd consecutive round of 4. And Parting, you scrim with Maru. But Maru lost today, so how do you feel? Well, during practice, he played like a monster. But today, if we cover his name up, it definitely didn't seem like Maru. It felt like somebody else. You know, I'm really really sad. But you know, today I told Maru to win, and he can support me later. But you know, having Maru having lost, it's a sad day. Alright, so Parting, do you have confidence to be Cured today? No, not really. I mean, I've known Cure for a long time. And today Maru definitely wasn't playing at the best level, and I think his condition was not that good. And Parting, it feels like you have something very special, a special strategy today. So have you prepared a special strategy? I mean, the Cure that I know is a very thoughtful Terran. He thinks about a lot of strategies. And if I do make mistakes, he's definitely gonna exploit that. And today I'm gonna try to play comfortably. And Cure, you probably examined the match between Parting and Clam. So how did you see it? Well, Clam was very sharp with his plays. But you know, sometimes he made trivial mistakes, and that led to his loss. So today I'm gonna have to play passive and go with macro. And the 2 players were in the same team before, and you guys are very close with one another. And the round of 16 before, Parting defeated Cure, and Parting at the time said that he's like the Cure's nemesis. I mean, after leaving the team, Cure and I have had less interaction. And right now, it feels like we don't have each other's data that much. So what I look forward to the most is how Cure thinks about me as a Protoss. How he analyzed me. That's what I'm most curious about. Alright, so before we dive into the match, anything you want to say to each other? Cure, you first.
사실은 좀 피하고 싶은 선수긴 했는데
I mean, he was a player that I wanted to avoid, if possible.
넘어야 될 선수라고
But
생각하고
at the same time, I think he's a player that I have to defeat in order to move forward.
상대다 원희석 선수.
All right, Cure, parting, what about you?
누가 이기든
Whoever wins,
우승했으면 좋겠고
I hope he wins the full GSL.
최선을 다해서 후회 없는 경기 서로
And hopefully we try our best and try to have an entertaining match today.
시즌 1 이후 5시즌 만에 4강 진출을 노린
Cure, who's made it to this
지난 시즌
round of 8 after 5 seasons, and parting had an unfortunate loss in the last season. Who will be the last one to join the final four?
과연 두 선수 중 승리자는
Which of these
누구일지
players
오늘도
will move on to the final
대결 함께
in the round of 4?
This is going to be a fun one, man. I think Parting takes it. I think, but I could be wrong. Cure is looking to be in very good shape.
Yeah, he is.
There's something about the energy that comes from Parting, though. You know, you can feel how focused he is before the match.
Yeah.
You can see the strategies and how much thought went into them. You know, he streams all the time, but clearly he preps stuff off stream as well. We'll see stuff we don't normally see him doing on his stream either.
He's a bit of a machine, I think. I think he puts in a, like, he almost conveys a more relaxed persona in a way, but I think he actually outworks almost everybody.
Yeah, I like the way you put this. He has a fun persona, and, you know, his stream definitely shows that, but he definitely puts the prep in. He's a real workhorse. You know, the issue of going up against Parting is you know he might cheese you. The problem is you might not be able to stop it, even if you know what kind of strat it is. This is the thing about him, is his control is so good.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's saying a lot. I mean, StarCraft 2 moves so fast, a lot of times you don't have room to really have a lot of, you know, tactical skirmishes because things can end so quickly, but the way he controls stuff is just phenomenal. And ekes out so much extra damage. I think for sure we're going to have one game with Proxy Void Ray to chew up the Terran's entrance.
I would definitely agree with that. I think you're right. We'll be seeing at least one of those.
I think maybe a Stalker Blink War Prism.
I think he'll be pretty aggressive overall, but Parting can play a macro game.
And we always got to put this disclaimer on any Parting cast. He also can play macro games.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Especially in this matchup, he's really, really good at macro too.
Yeah.
Cure is really good though, and I think that he said some smart things during that interview. He knows that he needs to make sure that every little thing is perfect in these early games. Like, he needs to have very clean openers. He needs to execute everything very well. Because if you do block everything that Parting's going to do, you're going to have a timing in there.
And keep in mind that there is a very realistic possibility that if Parting moves on, he could take down Trap. I don't think Parting is an easy opponent for Trap either. So
I think he's more likely to beat Trap than, than Cure is.
I think so for sure, yeah. We're going to start this out on Romanticide, a pretty turtley map, but you don't have to play that if you don't want to.
Well, Parting chose it, so there's got to be a reason in there.
He wants to get whatever he wants to do on this map out of the way right away. And our map is, or has, I should say, loaded up. Cure versus Parting, a best of 5 to get that final spot in the GSL round of 4.
GSL Season 3, Codex.
All right.
Yep. Called it. So no player intros this time. We're gonna
it looks like a Max Packs opener, but it could be. Oh, he might actually just run up in, like, oh my God! Look, Cure passes him. They barely don't see each other.
The depot will spot the probe.
Okay, is he gonna steal a gas? Remember the SOS build where he stole gas?
Yeah, actually.
Oh
but
my
the barracks
God!
is being made outside, so he might not even do anything at all.
Yeah, no, he makes
might
a
come
gate
in here
at
and be
home.
like, okay, you're going to try to cheese me.
And already, so both of them were going to cheese here.
Yeah.
And now, because this probe came out that early, Parting is going to play more defensively. He's got his gateway being made at home. He has double gas on the way, so it's going to be a one-base build on both sides. Wow. Wild opener here on Romanticide.
So, obviously, all the normal macro openers. We're pretty used to it, especially a lot of the timings, but it's a very unique thing when you're both about to cheese each other and one player inadvertently scouts the other. And each of those situations has a different set of rules about them for who's going to be ahead and how you respond. But right now, I really like this for partying. He sees immediately there's no barracks inside the main, and instead of trying to find it somewhere on the map, he's just going to play around it, get ready to defend, and he's actually setting up a proxy. I assume it's going to be a Stargate, or I guess you could even make a gateway now that I think about it.
Yeah, it could be a gateway, a Stargate.
I don't think
it would be a robo. Yeah, it's like.
But if he did get a robo and made one immortal, that would be very surprising for the Terran.
Yeah, that would be very surprising for the Terran. Yeah,
immortal jump scare.
Dude, look at this build. Double Tech Lab Marauder.
So he's going to go with a concussive build. This is a kind of a quicksand build here from the Terran, where if the damage starts, the
quicksand
Protoss.
build.
Yeah, you like that? I just
yeah,
thought
that's interesting.
Well, it's like if you get a couple connects with the concussive shells, then they can't escape, then they die and they get pulled.
You have to stay very still if this hits you.
You need to lay on your back and
don't
not
make
panic.
any noise. The quicksand can hear you.
Stay very still. The quicksand can see you.
Okay, Zealot plus Adept. These are some crazy builds. The thing is, I think like an Oracle can just go up and kill him. I assume it's going to be an Oracle, but he could make a Void. Oh, it is going to be a Void. He's just going to make a Void Ray tasteless. What do you think about that, Tasteless?
Well,
like, nothing here shoots up.
Can we just point out that the Zealot could not be more worthless against a Marauder?
Oh, God, yeah. It's so funny.
We're like, well, this thing.
Okay, he's going to try to push this all back. This is so wild, man.
Now, there's nothing to heal.
He has to be wondering where everything is for parting, right? Shouldn't he just, like, start an eBay in case?
He could actually just get Warp Gate. He could get the Cybernetics core. Oh, no, Warp Gate's done. We're good.
No, we didn't even get Warp Gate.
No, never mind. I saw him
Who
attacking
needs
that.
Warp Gate when you have a Void Ray?
He must have canceled it. So the Void Ray is just in here, and there's nothing to really save the day. But at the same time, over here, battery!
Oh, dude.
Battery, boys! Okay,
Look
so
at this.
Keep in mind, the Void Ray can kill all the workers, but Protoss has to save this base, and there's a lot more Marauders than there are Stalkers and Adepts, or Stalker and Adept.
yeah. So the Void Ray is going to end up killing everything. He is making a second Void Ray, which I think he'll send home.
Super Shield Battery, brothers. Oh my God, these pros! You got that one Marauder.
Oh my God! Yeah, it's a lot of Marauders, but as the Void Ray comes over, I think he's just going to have to GG, right?
Well, yeah, I think there's not going to be enough Marines.
Yeah, definitely not. Void Ray can kill quite a few.
Yeah, this is going to be a win here for Party.
Yeah.
He has the money to make a probe, correct? Yes, he does.
He has one probe as well.
Where is it?
It's out. I think it's in the main base of his opponent, I believe.
Your lasers.
They hurt.
Your lasers stop you.
Okay, so he's made 4 Marines, but 4 Marines do not kill 2 Void Rays.
Yeah, especially if the Void Ray is microed.
But you know what? He can get up to like 9 Marines or something. Like, maybe there's a chance here.
Is there there's another Void Ray making, correct? Maybe not.
Is there a third Void Ray making? I don't think so. I think he's got 2. Yeah, he's making an Adept and a Probe. Oh boy. He's going to have to take this fight, Tasteless. You can't let that die.
Okay, he kills off the Marines to reinforce, and
yeah.
these 2 Void Rays can just wreck these Marines.
The Void Ray's got this. 6 Marines, absolutely no. Just not going to happen. Look at that micro.
The Void Rays are like breakdancing as they're spinning around.
Yeah, it's really good micro from partying, as you can see. This is not micro that I see very often.
Yeah.
He's actually, the micro has been really, really good. Okay, he's going to power that down.
Yeah, and the thing is, the shields will slowly regen. Terran had some extra supply, but you can see Marines are not mobile enough to really catch these, and the damage, because there's no medevac, the damage is permanent.
Put some extra damage on there, picking off what he can with that Adept. The Marine's going to head towards the Nexus. What a wild first game.
Yeah.
Very cool one. Oh, God.
Yeah, and I mean, the battery. So this game is going to end. There is absolutely no way for Terran to win.
Yeah.
Especially from a player like Party who's just going to control better. And also the Void Racer superior units when microed. And there's a battery, and there's a Zealot coming out, and there's probes mining so you can make more stuff.
Yeah, the micro from Kira is very, very good.
Yeah.
Okay. So that should be that.
GG.
Okay, okay. 7 minutes. Decided a little
bit
quicker.
long for a partying game, but okay.
Yeah.
Partying showing off his macro style.
Yeah, that was the late game of the cheese.
That's called end game.
Yeah, that's end game of that build on both sides.
Gotta be a frustrating game there for Cure. He's taking the jacket off, by the way.
I think it was a good build. It was good placement stuff. It's just Harding got wind of it so quickly and was able to just do like a perfect counter. The one Void Ray going in the main base, man, it just puts a clock on you, and he held well enough. The double battery, if he had had double battery, if he had gone double battery, I think he might have lost that game, Tasteless.
Like I think you're right.
Yeah. Because the Marauders would have overwhelmed everything and killed it off the Nexus before Void Rays could get back.
2,000 Atmospheres has loaded up. Cure vs. Parting continues on with Parting having that 1-0 lead.
GSL Season 3, Codex. Dragon Phoenix Gaming, Cure. Parting.
And what do we have this time? 2,000 Atmospheres.
So he's made a kind of a Makaraxish.
Macarox. They're very small rocks you throw at people.
Yeah. The double proxy, well, it's not proxy, it's the opposite of it. It's kind of hidden.
It's a reverse
safely.
proxy.
I see this with one barracks. I don't feel like we see it often with two.
No, you do not. Yeah, that's going to be very strange. Because when you scout this, like, now, he's going to get up here and see no racks. Does he go second gas? I think he will.
But at the same time, it's 2 racks.
Yeah, it's going to be very
So it's not like you're
different.
going to expand behind this either.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely going to be making a lot of Reapers. Okay, the Nexus goes up. But what if it's the same build?
Thing is, if these were in the middle of the map, I'd be more worried. I guess because it's Reapers, they can still get across the map pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, they travel fast. They'll be over there and get some decent harassment done. But I think Parting will just kind of hold. It's just interesting to me, right? Because, like, one of the ultimate mind games is to do the same all-in twice in a row. What if there were 2 barracks, like, really close to Parting making Marauders right now? He'd be dead. This build would not stop that.
Yeah. Okay, so there we go. Manseter comes down. Got another Reaper about to come out here. I'm not sure how much this is really going to hinder Parting here, but we'll see in a second.
Shield battery goes up. Stalker and main's auto natural.
Yeah, the Zealot just there to sponge damage and shots. But when a couple Stalkers come out, I mean, Reapers are funny units because against anything that has range from Protoss, they basically can't fight. They can kill like a sentry or something, but other than that, no. And so, I don't know how much he's going to get done with this. We'll see as this comes inside the main here. Can he target some probes down?
Yeah, nice grenade there. Just kind of zoning everything back. Doesn't seem like he's going to get too much, but 2 probes, maybe. Oh, that Zealot, that was
good
sick.
block.
Yeah.
On both fronts there. And he's going to get this last Reaper. There's nowhere the Reaper can go. And so, I got to say, that was pretty sick.
That Zealot
the Zealot
was
body
awesome.
block.
Yeah. That was good
That
SimCity.
Zealot's there with sunglasses on right now. And a grin.
Yeah, it is.
That's the smiley emoji right there.
Look at him strut to the middle of the map.
So, I mean, the game obviously goes on here, but I think those Reapers should have done a little bit more damage.
Yeah, Kira thinks so too.
Between the Zealot and the Probe, he basically locked the Reapers in there, finished him off, and honestly, there was more money lost making the Reapers than there were killing the Probes. So, pretty good start for Party.
Seems like a standard follow-up for Party. Blink Robo.
And we don't see any indication that there's a third base in the mail here for Cure. He's powering up on 2 bases. Some of the ideas here similar to what we saw from Maru. I know we're still early on, but things are pointing in that direction.
Couple more gates being added on. All right. How many gates is he going to go for? 3? You think he'll add that 4th?
Could.
Oh, it seems like it's going to be 3.
So it's going to be a pretty straightforward play here. Go for control, limit their mobility, blink in if they move out. If they don't move out, fine. Take your 3rd and power up with more probes. There's our cool Zealot.
He's just walking around the map like he owns the place.
There's going to be an armory made here for Terran.
What's this armory's story, Tasteless?
Yeah, what is this?
Where was it born? What does it want to do when it grows up? Is it just going to cloak mines, or is there something else going on here?
That War Prism's out, by the way, and he can start to ferry units into the main if he sees an opportunity. The Terrans have gotten pretty conservative against this, but even the Terrans that have like a bunker in their main, sometimes they just die.
Oh, dude, he's bringing the Zealot in the Prism to the main base. This
So
Zealot's not done. He's
Maybe
gonna.
that Zealot will block Reapers in the main too.
He's gonna block something with him. Look at that. He's gonna take that first hit, I guess, and picks off a Marauder already. Parting going in for the kill right now. Warping in some more Stalkers, but a medevac is going to his main base during this right now.
He blinks back out and still fires up onto the high ground.
Oh! Much more damage there on the side of Cure.
There are still enough Stalkers that he might be able to snowball a fight over here.
Yeah, you could be right about that. I think the Zealot may have died, though.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Should have been at home blocking that Widowmine drop. He has a harder time blocking flying units,
Dude,
Tasteless.
I think this game's going to go to an end one way or the other because these mines are dropping and Party's just not moving.
No, he has no idea. He's just going for the kill right now. Huge amounts of damage being done to him.
There's about 1 or 2 more rounds of Widow Mines hitting before there are no probes in this game, but
he has to kill Cure. That's it. He's like ignoring them completely. He's going for the kill. They're cloaked anyways, so he can't spend the time. He can't spend the effort. This is all about trying to finish him with what he's got and the few warpins he can afford.
Yeah, he might have a few more Stalkers that can come out here. Again, Terran is producing. A lot of SCV's been pulled here. If Party can keep the ball rolling, he might be able to do it, but as time passes, it's looking more and more like it's going to be a Terran victory. We have 9 more probes that have been killed.
Yeah, his economy is just shattered.
Oh, the Widow Mines come forward, but there's an observer to spot them.
Yeah, his micro is good. It's very, very strong.
And when that eBay goes down, it's going to be a much wider arc here, a much more microable position for the Stalkers.
He is really soft on these Stalkers, though. It's tough. Medevac's coming back to help with that healing. He's killed a lot of SCVs. Only 9 workers remaining for Parting.
There's only 20 SCVs left here. These Stalkers aren't dead yet. If Party can make this work, if anybody can make it work, it would be Party. He blinks up into the main now, starting to shred the few remaining SCVs.
Yeah, and he is still trying to do it. The SCV's trying to get these kills. If Parting does this is insane.
I can't believe what I'm seeing. He's just juggling perfectly enough, just blinking perfectly enough. 2 Hellions come out.
They're so low health, though. He's down to 5 workers, Tasteless. He's going to not even warp in any more units this game, I think.
He's backing up. He's going to unload here. There's still a few probes mining. Why is he not unloading that?
Okay, he's down to 4 Stalkers. He's killed 43 workers. 47 probes have been killed as well.
He's going to regroup and try to come back in here.
Okay, that's probably his final warping because his economy is done. Okay, he's got 5 stalkers total.
GG.
Oh,
Survives.
dude, these two are going for each other's throats.
This is a sick series.
By the way, I gotta say, and this has been reverberating out through the last, like, what, 2 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe 2 years. When Parting first started to show up to GSL again and do very well, do you remember the match he had against TY? It was like a round of 8 or maybe even a round of 4. It was high up there, but Parting had been killing every Terran, like just killing him with blink builds and stuff in his micro. And TY like figured it out for everyone. This is what everyone's doing against him now, is just attacking his probes early on because he's so micro-intensive.
He's so laser focused on his attacking units. Yeah.
Mine drops, Hellion drops, they wreck his economy. They really do. This is how, like, every PvT he loses looks like that.
Yeah.
Where, like, he still almost wins, but you killed so much.
All right, well, Kier narrowly survives that game. A nail-biter of an ending there. We're going to Oxide now. As we enter into Game 3, we're tied up 1-1. Either Kier or Parting is going to take the lead here now.
GSL Season 3, Codex.
By the way, Taze, look at this, right? Do you remember the interview where Kier's like, well, I think I'm going to have to play defensive macro games. I think I'm going to have to defend a lot.
What a fib.
Yeah. Wow. Sick mind game there, Kier.
Yeah, I just hope my bunkers at home will get up in time.
Yeah. I hope I place my siege tanks correctly.
Yes, I hope that if my third base is up in time, I will be able to do a push. All right.
Hiding barracks every single game, keeping that aggression on Parting. I love it, Tasteless. This is a great series so far.
Like Game 4, there's going to be a probe moving out across our stage to take the wallet out of Kier's pocket here.
I think they should,
down and dirty.
I think they should just meet in the center with their workers.
I think that's the only way this should go. Double gas. We got to see what happens on the Protoss' side of the map here. Is he going to try to make a Nexus here? I think it's going to be a 1-1-1 in the middle here. Art Bart.
Might be. You always can't go like factory at home and everything if he's trying to like fake super aggression, but Parting he's like not even scouting, is he? Parting's playing a bit blind here. You can't prime someone to do something if they're not going to scout you. That's the real mind game there, Tasteless. You're going to give them disinformation. They're not even going to take your information.
They have no idea what you're doing. You're like, okay, well, my stuff's coming pretty fast. He's like, I'll find out when it gets here.
Yeah. He's like, I don't know, that's a bunker, okay. Well, I'll take it like kind of seriously, but I'm not afraid because I don't know what you're doing.
Whatever I'm doing here, believe it or not.
There's something very brave about complete ignorance, Tasteless, I have to say.
Whenever I see a pro gamer who just doesn't scout at all, I'm like, huh, all right.
Remember when Show really rose up and he was like, nah, you shouldn't scout as Terran. He just went like Banshee every game.
The Banshee gets there and it's like, so are there workers I can kill or what are we doing?
Yeah, what are we doing? Oh, God. It backs up.
All right.
I mean, the Reapers have in a bunker. We've seen plenty of bunkers up against a Nexus, and we have never seen Reapers in a bunker kill a Nexus. It has literally never happened.
It's like, here, I'll help you, and I send like a woodpecker over there to hit the Nexus too. It's like, how much?
Tasteless has an in-game woodpecker.
I have an attack woodpecker with a little cloak over its head. They pull up, goes, comes out and pecks on that Nexus.
I'm like, hold on, and I send my caterpillar in, but it just makes a cocoon on the Nexus.
All right, well, that's what I call an excited attack. What about you guys?
It, you know, it delays the probe production and it annoys Parting. It does some stuff. Okay, so we have another armory, Tasteless. Look at this.
We're armory.
He loves those mines being invisible.
And, I mean, let's see what Parting wants to do. It seems like he's just going to go for the same thing, except this time not lose all his workers.
Oh, well, that's not completely up to him. Kira's going to have something to say about how many workers are lost.
Well, the thing is, when Party lost the first wave, you could see there was an actual conscious decision in his head where he's like, okay, just go all in.
Yeah.
Don't go back and try to macro. Just don't even
But you're not going to recover, right? Like,
Yeah.
remember Maru's game 1 there against
Yeah.
Trap. It's
Yep.
like, well, you're in such bad shape at that point. You can't lose your probes early. And they were cloak tastes. What do he wanted to get detection at his main and like have units there?
He's like, I better go for detectors.
You're expecting a lot out of him. I don't understand why. All right, here we go.
Do we really consider it that when the mines are broed and they can't be seen, they are cloaked?
Yeah, I think we do.
Do lurkers cloak when they go underground?
Yeah, I kind of.
Yeah.
A little bit, I guess.
My favorite part about my basement is that it's cloaked from the rest of my house.
If you have a cloak of invisibility, do you have a cloak?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
All right, look at the little... There's no chance for the Widow Mine to get away. Its legs are too short compared to the long legs of the Stalker.
Imagine if leg length was like what it meant for speed. Colossi would be so quick. Like speedlings can't catch them tasteless.
What I want to see is, you know, people like race dogs or race horses. I want us to just race Widow Mines. Like,
oh yeah, like those crab races or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
where
yeah,
everyone
yeah.
bets on them. All right, Colossus Tech on the way here for parting. So he's getting ready to take that third base as well. Are we going to see a macro game, Tasteless?
a what?
A macro game.
Oh, you mean where they boldly don't try to kill each other in the first couple of minutes and instead try
Well,
to...
they already did that part,
Okay,
but like
okay.
it didn't work for both of them.
Okay, so...
So like,
yeah.
what do you do after you can't kill each other?
I guess you have to start taking resources and getting upgrades, for one. Expanding, probably making
By
more...
upgrades, you just mean charge and blink, right?
No, I mean even things like attack and armor.
Huh. But doesn't a Zealot do more damage than an upgrade?
That's a good question, Artosis. That was terrible.
Yeah. a little bit sloppy there. Oh, parting.
That was rough. All right, he gets out with 2.
Okay. It's not the end of the world for him, but didn't work as he had hoped.
The scout is going to clearly show that this is a pressure build, and that pressure is coming right now.
Yeah, there's been some great intel here from Cure, like the scan and the natural really hit, showed him what's what. This is not a bad army he has as well, right? High energy Raven here with 2 siege tanks.
Yeah,
we haven't seen like disable pushes against Colossi openings in quite some time.
Dude,
but
I love the Reapers leading here. It's actually really smart. They heal
Yeah.
up enough that like the Stalker shots aren't even softening the army even a little bit.
Yeah. He actually starts to kill the rocks, then thinks twice of it. Yeah, it might be better not to.
Dude, I think Cure might just kill him.
He might. Well, the Raven is a very tricky unit to deal with here. His Colossi is just not going to be useful. And, like, the rest of the army can't fight what he's got here now. Yeah, I think Cure is going to nail this third.
Yeah, I don't think that there's any way for Parting to really fight back. He disables the Colossus just to confirm that the Nexus is going to go down. Now, I think the next big question is, do you keep pushing here, or do you go back home?
Yeah, I guess that's the hard part. He has another disable, and he has 4 tanks. I think he keeps pushing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
force fields go down, which is definitely something you need to do, but you need to do it a bit earlier, I think, as well. Oh,
yeah.
man.
Now, the tank, oddly enough, blocks off the rest of that. He juggles 2 over. Now he can start to shell the 2 gateways. There aren't actually that many gateways in this game, by the way.
No.
So
there's not much of anything in this game right now. Parting has, like, half the army supply. Cure is
Parting with
just
another
ready.
base, by the way.
Oh, yeah, look at that. He's like, expanding right
I almost
next to
didn't
Bush.
see it at all, yeah.
Well, at least he's thinking about the future right now. It's like, if I somehow live through this, at least I'll have a third. Okay, this is looking
over.
like GG.
Cure goes up 2
Damn, man.
to 1.
All right.
Parting fumbling a little bit there at the start. And I think Cure kind of handling that very nicely, going for that two-base push. This is the meta now, guys.
Yeah, aggression on two base,
Yep.
like just pushing back heavily.
And, you know, the thing about Parting, he's so tricky. And what he does, you know, he's really one of the only players that can pull it off on his level. But a lot of these openers, you know, if you misstep a couple times with what you're trying to do, you can just die outright. And I think Parting right now has to ask some very serious questions to himself about how he wants to approach this, you know.
I think he needs to ask some questions to himself about where he wants to put the Stargate outside the main base of Kir.
Right.
It's time for some Void Ray
I
shenanigans.
think Void Ray all in. Absolutely. Void Ray all in or passive game. Guys, we should be going to a break in a second here. And we come back, game 4 in this best of 5.
Voices cloud inside your head. Remember all the words you said. Look inside and you will find the strength to carry through it. So I say, never give up, never give in. I want you to do something right, do it, indestructible. Yeah, indestructible.
Think about it, 'cause I'm dying, baby. If you want it, you just have to take it. If you feel something, boy, you gotta tell me. Yeah, yeah. I don't know why it's stuck in me. I like what how you taste. Give me the signs, I'll take the step for you. No, I like you, baby, you know. I want you to take the control. I'm like, alright, baby.
힘들어도
어려워도 이렇게 멈추면 내가 아니지.
오늘이 보여.
새로운 나를 만든다. 나의 레벨은 다르다. 어나더 레벨 핫식스.
이렇게 좋은 날엔 홈캠핑이지. 홈캠핑엔 고기, 고기엔 칠성사이다. 맛있는 자리에 빠질 수 없는 청량함. 완벽하네. 칠성사이다.
숙취 요즘 누가 저렇게 깨니? 맨날 똑같은 거, 맛없는 거 깨. 이제 탄산으로 깨. 숙취 해소의 새로운 기준. 가스강. 환도 역시 가스강이 대세.
디자인을 하면서 가장 중요하게 생각했던 부분은 울트라 기어의 차별화된 브랜드 메시지를 잘 나타내는 것입니다. 신과 영웅들의 최강의 무기들을 검토하였습니다. 그중 니케의 승리의 날개를 모티브로 지금의 울트라 기어의 로고가 탄생하게 되었습니다. 울트라 기어의 이니셜인 U와 G를 비상하는 날개의 형상으로 레드 색상을 사용하여 강력한 에너지와 힘을 나타내었습니다. 울트라 기어는 최상의 퍼포먼스로 진정한 게임의 즐거움, 승리의 기쁨을 여러분께 선사할 것입니다.
양념 툭툭, 올리브유 또르르. 우와, 그리고 제로. 너무 좋다. 맛은 배로, 칼로리는 제로. 칠성사이다 제로.
야채 착착, 당토 톡톡, 아보카도 슥슥. 그리고 제로. 이렇게 맛있다고? 맛은 배로, 칼로리는 제로. 칠성사이다 제로.
울트라 기어로 부드럽게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터. 울트라 기어로 선명하게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터.
관리받다. 관리하지 않는 순간에도 관리받다. 14일 동안 정성껏 발효한 브루잉 콤부차로 관리받다. 브루잉 콤부차.
Round of 8. Track. Maru. Pure. Parting. 2021 GSL Season 3 Codex. Africa TV Freak Up Studio Live 2021 GSL Season 3.
Welcome back, everybody. Right now, Cure has a 2-1 lead over Party, which I'm a little bit surprised by, but the games have been pretty interesting, honestly, pretty unique. Like, there's been enough engagements back and forth that these games can't be replicated. Party clearly has some good plans and is playing well, but, you know, you're trying to navigate through a minefield in some of these situations, and Cure has come out on top. He did smash Party with the 2-base timing. Either Cure comes out with one more victory and moves on, or Parting comes back here with a 2 victories in a row, combos it into the final 4.
Yeah, and if Parting can win here, Nautilus, not a bad 5th map for him. So Cure, I think, really wants to finish this off now.
All right, guys, Game 4 is ready on Lightshade. Cure vs. Parting continues on.
GSL Season 3 Codex. Dragon Phoenix Gaming, Pure. Parting.
Okay, so there's an SCV looping around here on the map, but this may be just a scout for proxies. I mean, the same can be said for Parting's probe here.
Yeah, look at that. He kind of kept it around waiting there and then went, just missing each other once again.
Now we're going to see if this benefits one side or the other. The eBay block is here to set this up so that if Protoss wanted to get an expansion quickly, it's going to be delayed. But of course, we don't know what Party wants to do just yet. Doesn't seem like he's going to get a second gas.
Yeah, it's an expansion build for sure, I would say.
So because of that, you know, you don't have any kind of workaround for it. So this is going to come down here. They'll see that eBay is there, and it's going to take a little bit of time before this eBay can be destroyed and the Nexus can be planted. And there's a proxy factory.
Okay.
Is he going to do an old 1998 floated Materan building? A floaterino?
He might. I mean, he can also make a starport right next to it if he wants. The float is like, there's some real risk for that, because if they would see that, it's just like, it needs time to be pulled off, you know?
So this was like truly when StarCraft, did StarCraft 1 come out in 97 or 98? I think that, no, I think Brood War came out in 98, right? I think
Brood War is 99, I believe.
Well, anyways, the first year the game came out.
No, Tasteless, let's fight about this, actually.
No, we're gonna settle this once and for all. It's gonna be the old float.
All right.
The old Pennywise down here, we all float.
You can go in the pool even if you can't swim because we got to float.
Dude, this is, and the old one, this is like one of the first like, kind of like, wow, StarCraft strats that ever came out was like, I could make vultures inside of your base. But this is going to be devastating because
he sees it.
He knows the truth about the float.
Yeah, look at this. He's going to do a little counterplay. The mine burrows. Oh, you've got to split those.
Oh, 3.
Hey, Armory is going to be finishing again. So, like, he already lost 3, but it's going to be more. Oh, he just gets it, Tasteless. He just gets it back. Okay, but yeah, the mines that burrow now. Oh, no. And I was like, no, I'll kill it. Oh my God, there's an
Where
armory.
did it go? I'm cloaked underground down here. I love that you call it cloaked, even though it's underground. You can't see him, Marty. It's buried too deep.
Yeah, but like what? They just bury deeper now because an armory's out there. Like, hey, wait. There's an armory out.
But
go deeper.
Why can't you see the wallet that's cloaked in the pocket of my pants?
Okay, hold on. There's a bunch of Marines coming into the natural now. Uh-oh. Parting in some trouble. Uh-oh, Tasteless. Oh, probes are dying.
All right, I think Parting just fends this off and life goes on, but Terran in a deficit.
Hold on, though.
Okay.
Parting. Yeah, the command center is done for Kier, and he's up 4 workers right now. And now the factory gonna fly out of here. Okay.
I think the factory's gonna get away at the end of this scene.
He's making his bunker, getting ready to expand.
Oh, he's gonna
the factory
back
won't.
in.
No, factory can't come back in. It's just gonna sit up there because why not? Oh, that's why not. Get out of here.
Never really appreciated the lab that's in that little area next to the factory. There's like a guy in there with a hat, I think.
Looks like there's water in that dome. Since when do we make domes for water?
Good question.
Domes are for air, not water.
The Stalkers.
Who made this map?
Gotta get to the bottom of this. Blink's gonna be done. Stim's not finished, right?
No.
No, right?
No.
No, Day-Slash. You're so funny when you said that, Day-Slash.
All right, 5 stalkers in here. He's gonna have to blink out as all the Marines come up. Ooh, got that stalker, very nice. Really scan to take out this observer, doesn't look like it. Wants 1 more mine.
Tries to slip by. This is an exciting chase scene, is it not?
I liked when the stalker ran away from the mine, running away from it.
All right, Stim's going to be finishing up now.
Yeah, factory suiciding into the main base, maybe get a little bit of a scout off.
Maybe he spots some tech or something like that.
Yeah. Knows he's making a pylon.
Now, is there any more opportunities for Stalkers to do damage? It seems like the Stalker numbers were pretty low, to be honest, to try to come in and do that much.
Yeah, I don't think he can really do much right now.
And Terran is set up for a 2-base push again. We don't see a 3rd command center. I'm curious to see where exactly the Protoss is going to be, because we don't see a 3rd base you could push into, by the way. It hasn't been taken yet. And in fact, Protoss is basically powering.
Look at this observer, Tasteless. That is amazingly placed just in time, too.
Does he want to try to just attack into the bunker? I think it'd be unwise.
No, I think he's going to go try to catch the medevac.
I think this is the better play. It looked like for a second he might try to dive in, but there definitely would be enough. Now, if the Stalkers can shred this up, And really what you want to do is kill the medevac here.
Yeah.
And then everything else is a piece of cake.
Yeah, losing a stalker here, no biggie. Killing
Yeah.
8 Marines in a medevac,
And,
biggie.
You know, I think had Kier not lost that, we would be in an extremely different game. When you power on 2 bases, the few extra, medevacs worth of units are actually the game changer. So to lose that for basically a stalker, definitely something Parting was hoping for.
Cure coming out now. 3 medevacs. Good amount of Marauders in with these Marines this time. +1's going to be finishing as well. I believe this is the 2nd Colossi that just popped out. So that makes it like really hard to actually push Parting right now. I don't think it's doable. 2 Colossi, 2 Sentry, that many Blink Stalkers. Yeah, this army can't fight that. Blinks forward, snaps the neck of 1 Marauder.
I don't think there's anywhere that Kier can attack. I thought maybe he would pick up and drop. We see players like Maru and some other Terrans do that, where they come out and realize they can't go anywhere and go and fly into the main, but...
What was that sound effect?
Like that.
Oh yeah, that's pretty much
I've never
it.
tried to make a medevac sound and as it came out of my mouth.
It's pretty good. It's like close.
It was like
it's hard. It's a hard sound to make.
It was like when Frankenstein tried to sound like the birds that he heard, and it was just like Frankenstein's monster, actually. Sorry.
Like you're not that guy from Police Academy, but you're pretty good.
2 drops coming here. 3. Oh no!
Yeah, he turns around in time. Good scan. Does have the other drops going though.
Yeah. 2 in the south.
Go ahead and unload them.
Yeah, unload at a distance here and try to stem in. There's not that much here, but I don't think there's actually any units at the 3rd. There's something moving down towards it. It's going to be the Stalkers and Colossi.
Yeah, Kier is not finding any damage right now. He needs to retain his army. He is starting to gain that supply advantage that we always see in this part of the game.
Right.
So that's good at least. He's adding in Vikings as well. I'm not sure the exact count. Dark Shrine on the way. Oh, I like that Dark Shrine a lot. It's making a cybernetic score. So you just think he's going to lose that one?
I think he started that when he saw the attack coming.
That would make sense.
He's like, now you forced me to go carriers right now. So be it. I'll get all the air upgrades. So the War Prism's coming. We have a 4th base being made. Again, the Terran hasn't taken 2 bases. He's going to pull the boys.
Yeah. Let's see if this is going to work out. Trying to dodge observers. Dodges that one. It's going to be hard to dodge the 2nd one that he's walking through. Okay, Parting sees exactly what's coming.
Yeah, he sees everything. So it's going to be all about having the right force-filled walls to basically buy time.
Dude, Kier can... I think he can kill this, man. Like, he's got a very good amount of Vikings right now.
Well, he needs to keep...
Okay, the overcharge is being used. I think he should wait it out. Okay, SCV's coming out in the front. Vikings diving in once again here, trying to kill off that prism so that there can't be juggling, but the overcharge keeps it alive as it does everything. The spread is still awesome here from Kier. Zealots warping in. Down comes a disruptor.
Oh my god, he did it. He totally did it.
Yeah.
He broke through with enough, and that is how you beat a Protoss who's just going to sit back and not engage you, is force the fight. Wow.
Yeah, very well done here. Warps in some DTs as his absolute last effort. The scan is ready. Guns them down. Still has another scan in his pocket as well. The last disruptor shot only gets a Marauder.
I think there's nothing that he can do over here. The 2 robos are going to go down. The DTs are coming in here. I think that was the last scan, so... but then again, even then, man, like, this is too much. The stim unit's just doing so much damage everywhere. Another scan. I can't believe it. So Kier is going to be going on to the final 4 of the GSL Code S.
Some hyper aggression here from Kier, and he has really come back full circle now. Had a bad year to 2 years, I would say, after his finals against TY.
Yeah.
But here he is in that top 4. A nice win over Parting. You can see Parting very frustrated with this. But Kure did fantastically. You got to hand it to him. I'm really impressed.
It's always tough to see Parting lose, but it was a good series, and I think Kure really played the matchup the right way. We saw Maru trying to sometimes force it with just 2 base, but Kure's like, no, we've actually already figured this out in Wings of Liberty. Take your SCVs and really force a fight. And so it's going to be Kure advancing here. He'll be going up against Trap, which should be a pretty exciting match.
Yeah, and we've got that golden ratio in the top 4, don't we?
So sick,
Kure
man.
makes it in. Awesomely done.
So
awesomely
cool.
done.
So Yuri's going to be interviewing Kure now. We're going to see how he's feeling. He has managed to get in the top 4 in Season 3, the GSL Codex. StarCraft 2.
Wow, Kure defeats Parting, and the Terran's will is carried on. We're gonna have an interview with Kure. Congratulations, Kure. Thank you. This is your round of 4 after 5 seasons, Kure. How do you feel?
연습하면서
During practice, it's been really hard.
이렇게 이겨서 너무 기쁜 거.
But I'm really, really happy to have won today. Proxy after proxy. Wow. We can almost smell TY from your play today, Kure. So what changed?
아무래도 다들 실력이 다 좋은 선수들만.
I mean, all the players are so good. They're of the highest caliber.
특별하게 해야 이길 수 있도록.
So I realized that I need to stand out in order to beat them. I need to be special. So, I really try my best in strategizing. Well, it really fits well on you, Kure. Well, the first game was a base trade. The Void Ray against the Marauders. So, what was the background behind that game? Well, there was a game that I've never faced before. So had I focused more, I probably could have won the game. But I don't think I was concentrating. So I was kind of angry with myself in that first game. But after I won the second one, I think I regained my poise. And the opponent was pressuring you very hard with the Blink Stalkers, but you were able to fend it off really well. I mean, I started the mind game by going for the Proxy Marauders, but Parting actually anticipated that, and I knew that failed, and I thought I was in the back foot. But Parting prepared a strategy, and that strategy was not effective against me, and then I was able to make a comeback in the game. You're going for the engineering bay rush. That was actually a sneaky mine, Widow mine, and that worked well. And today, before the match, you mentioned in the interview that you're gonna have to be defending against Parting, and that was true. So yeah, Kure didn't share a lot of the information because he thought Parting might exploit it. Right, so this is your round of 4 after 5 seasons, Kure, as I mentioned before. So, you must be really happy. Yeah, I am really happy. But I want to thank all the players who helped me with practice. Dion, Hero, Zest. And there's Puzzle as well. But Zest, out of all the players, helped me so much. He helped me practice like 10 games a day. And he's also taught me a lot of the concepts. And although he has a very different playstyle to Parting, he's helped me so much, and he's very instrumental to my win today. And Kure, you seem very desperate for this win today. And your round of 4 opponent will be Trap, the best Protoss out there. So what do you think about this matchup? I mean, Trap is really good at adapting to the opponent's playstyle, so I'm gonna have to practice really well. And I also have plenty of time thanks to Thanksgiving, so I'm gonna try my best. Alright, so before you go, Kure, anything you want to say? So I'm challenging the final stage once more. I'm gonna practice really hard and try to make it to the finals of this season. Once again, congratulations, Kure. Thank you.
네, 이렇게 마지막 4강 진출자
Congratulations again to Kier. I honestly did not think he was going to advance today, so that's a pretty cool plot twist.
Yeah, he played really well and brought the right types of builds, but I think he has to bring a completely different style against his round of 4 opponent in Trap.
I think so. So we're going to have a week off, guys. About, I think, 10 days or 11 days off. It's going to be Korean Thanksgiving next week, and this is basically top 2 biggest holidays in the country, so nothing's going to be going on.
That's right.
But when we come back, we're going to have Zest versus Rogue, and then Trap versus Cure.
Yeah, and those are a couple of really great matches, like Zest versus Rogue and old IEM Katowice finals right there.
Right.
And we'll see if Zest can come up with something to beat Rogue, who has never lost a best of 7. Trap versus Cure. It seems tough for Cure. Like, he played very well here against Parting, but Cure is just a completely different player.
Well, the thing is, Trap is a bit more stable and is I think, a bit more risk-adverse because I think he just kind of knows the ins and outs of defending and sort of stalling until that Storm Tech is done.
His strengths are like the opposite of Parting's.
So the last week of the month, you can catch us on our regular days, Monday and Thursday, 6:30 p.m. KST. And let's see what happens. I think Zest is going to have a really hard time against Rogue. I think Rogue may just be trampling his way into the finals, and we'll see what he does there.
Yeah. This is going to be a lot of fun, though. Like Zest, I believe that this will be his last season. He's going to the military. That fight against Rogue, I hope it's an epic one. I think Zest can prepare. He was saying his passion is back. It's great to see Cure back in great shape, and of course, Trap and Rogue are like, feels like they are always in the top 4.
Yeah, I think there's a very realistic chance we have a Rogue versus Trap finals as well.
Another
one.
Well.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's our top 4, guys, and it's looking good.
Trap, the only one with a hat who survives Final Four.
True. Yeah.
All the gamers wearing hats, rooting for him.
Half suspenders, half vests. So, what do you have to say about that?
Well, it's yeah, that's a good point. And yeah, wow, you are on. There's our schedule, guys. So it's sad to say this is the last big season of GSL CODEST. But you know, we're gonna be back next year. Still Super Tournament as well.
Yeah, we have a Super Tournament coming up, so don't worry, guys. Plenty of StarCraft 2 action.
Calm down, guys.
Yeah, guys.
Chill out.
Oh my God, it's embarrassing.
Chill out.
Yeah. All right. So that's it for 10, 11 days for GSL, but ASL is on the same YouTube channel, so definitely check that out.
The VODs are being uploaded as quickly as possible, and so there will be something during this period to watch, although there is no ASL going on in that 10-week period as well. So you got a little bit of ASL to keep you going, and then right when you think you're going to die because you don't have enough StarCraft from us, GSL's going to come in there, and then you can basically overdose.
Yeah.
With StarCraft 1
you
and
can
StarCraft
really
2.
get back into
Because there's going to be lots of ASL, and all the best parts of GSL. Final Four and Finals are coming.
That's right. Oh, my gosh. Only 3 days of GSL CODEST left this year.
It's been quite the year, man.
Yeah.
It's been a busy year for us in Korea as well.
Yeah, it feels like it kind of went fast, too.
Between StarCraft and the other titles we've been doing, it's been just a lot of studio work. It's been a lot of fun.
Whirlwind.
We still can't leave the country yet, but...
Not yet.
Hopefully.
Almost. Halfway there.
Almost 2 years, no travel. The pandemic affects everybody differently depending on where you are in the world.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been an amazing year, and we do still have a little bit more left after the season is done. Yeah. Are they doing a promotion
Happy
down there?
Chuseok, guys.
Happy Chuseok.
Yeah.
Happy Korean Thanksgiving.
That's right. And
the time when the Koreans saw the Native Americans and then shared a turkey together. That's their Thanksgiving
That's how that
story.
went down.
Yeah. The
That's
Native
why
Americans
you honor
came out of
your
the woods. The
dead
Koreans were like, what?
ancestors.
Then the Koreans, like, there was a little bit of turkey there, and the Koreans were like, soju. And that's what happened. Your textbooks
You should be a
don't
history
teach you
teacher.
that.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
All right.
I want to end the show, but I don't think we can. So I think they're doing some. There's traditional Korean music playing, I believe.
So probably talking about Chuseok a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, we already told you what Chuseok is, so there you go.
There you go.
You've had your history lesson today. You can cite tasteless if you have to write a book report
And you
on
could
that.
celebrate that by taking your hand, put it on a piece of paper, and you just trace around the edges like this.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you've got a Thanksgiving Korean turkey.
Perfect.
All right, we can finally wrap it up, guys. Thank you for joining us. We love you. Be safe over the break, and we will see you when we come back for the Final Four.